Coffee for the Quarter Store and the $25 Fire Lake Enterprise gift
If you can
card.
hear me, the coach's
Text
corner
your
did not
birthdays
load in the
today
Skyla.
to
It's not playing.
405-227-2255. Know someone who works hard and goes that extra mile in the Shawnee or Tecumseh areas? KGFF Radio, House of Flowers, and Subway want to help celebrate that special person. Log on to kgff.com, hit the nomination button, and give us their name and where they work. They'll receive a beautiful plant from your friends at House of Flowers, a 6-inch sub from Subway, and KGFF swag as a thank you from your friends at House of Flowers, Subway, and KGFF Radio.
Hey, guys, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Coach's corner didn't load. It's written in here, but it won't play.
Okay, it should be, can you access the MP3 folder? On the C, it's the C drive.
Hold on a minute.
Or actually, go to the KGFF Gmail account. You can pull it straight from there. I asked Trey what the log was, and he told me, and I loaded it.
Okay, hold on. Gmail, huh? Hold on.
Yep. Is Trey there?
He just got here, but he's in the production room at the moment.
Okay.
Hold on a minute. I've got the Cardinals Daily, Noon News.
You should see one from yesterday afternoon that says Coach's Corner.
Hold on. Found it.
Okay, just play it straight from there. It's edited and everything right there. As we get you set for tonight's season opener, we begin our broadcast with the Fire Lake Enterprises Coach's Corner. I am joined by the new head coach of the Shawnee Wolves, Jason Madonna. And Coach Madonna, thanks for taking a few minutes to speak with me.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Before we look at tonight's season opening matchup with Seminole, let's look at this year's Wolves football team. This is a young roster. There's just 8 seniors on it, but while it's a young roster, it does have quite a bit of experience. A lot of those sophomores and juniors on the roster got a lot of playing time last year as freshmen and sophomores.
Exciting things about this is even though we're young, we're experienced, you know, and then those guys will gain the experience this year, and then we'll have them back again next year. So the future is really bright for the Wolves.
Sometimes with young guys, you know, when they're having to go from one scheme to another, you never know how they're going to adjust. How have these guys adapted going from last year's coaching staff to the scheme that y'all are putting in this year?
I think they've done a really good job. I mean, we've challenged them to study and to watch film and to learn what's going on. I think they've accepted that challenge. You know, every day is a little bit more added, you know, to try to help retention and help us learning. And it'll be a while before everything's in and all our adjustments are in. But right now they're doing a great job of just adapting and learning, absorbing and adjusting. After going 0-10 last year, you know, it's one of those things where you could understand if some kids maybe had their confidence shaken after that tough season. What has been the mentality of this team and I guess the confidence level of this team going into tonight's season opener? Well, our mentality is, you know, goes back to our core values, toughness, honor, and effort. And that's been a big preaching point for us, man. Is just be tough. You know, don't worry about what just happened. Don't worry about the last play. So we've kind of taken on the mantra of what's next. You know, just focus on what's coming up next. You know, the next play. You know, throughout the game, like something bad happens. focus about it, just focus on what's next. Because when you've been through a situation, these kids that doubt can creep in, you know, and we want them playing fast and confident and just focused on the task at hand and not the overall impact of what just happened.
How much of your off season was spent trying to rebuild that confidence and really push that mentality of, hey, if you make a mistake, just fix it and move on?
Yeah, it was a lot. You know, it was a lot. Just we knew the challenges that coming in from these kids. You know, a lot of them had to play young, like you just talked about, and part of that is why they had a little bit less success than desired last year. But you know, now they're a year older, they're a year more mature. You know, and you start to see it click in some of them that, you know, hey, we can do this. We are good enough. We are here. And so you start to see their expectations for themselves change, and then the requirements that they put themselves change. And so we've seen a lot of that. There's been a lot of positives, and I think they're starting to grow into that.
One thing that you've mentioned throughout the offseason when we've gotten to speak is how you and your coaches, y'all been working on eliminating some of those mental mistakes, mainly the penalties that are mental mistakes. How has that been going in the scrimmages?
We've been improving.
Okay.
We've been improving. We still had some, and you know, and that's going to come just from inexperience. Right now, we're trying to learn how to have success. So I think at McLeod, we had a couple celebration penalties that were unnecessary. Just either made big plays and over celebrated a little bit. But if we can clean that stuff up and just not hurt ourselves, you know, that's what we're trying to preach to them, is we're good enough to go compete and have a chance to win. But we're not if we hurt ourselves and put ourselves in bad situations.
Yeah, I think, you know, throughout the course of the game, there's going to be penalties. Very rarely does a team play a penalty-free game, but it's one thing to have a penalty, you know, on a face mask when you're just trying to reach out and make a tackle, and it's another thing to have false start penalties, delay a game penalties, kind of those mental errors.
Absolutely. So, you know, we tell them we can kind of live with some of the effort penalties. You know, you're trying to make a play or you're trying to make a block and you just don't quite get a hold. And, you know, we're going to try to correct where they went wrong, but it's not, you know, a situation where we're upset about it. The pre-snap or post-play penalties, that's the frustrating ones, because that just comes down to being disciplined. You know, and if we want to go win football games, we're going to have to be a disciplined football team.
Looking at X's and O's, offensively, you've talked about how you want to get Shawnee's athletes the ball in space. How exactly do you plan on doing that?
Well, hopefully Seminole's not listening tonight, so they don't make any last-minute adjustments. But no, it's just, you know, we got to identify who those guys are and where they work best in space, and then we have to call the plays in order to execute that. And so we want the defense playing sideline to sideline. And so you'll see us throw it out there to a guy like a Delmon Miller or Ejon Thomas just on a fast screen. And just, you know, even if they only get 4 or 5 yards, we're setting up the next one, and the next one maybe open the box from Deshawn to have one less defender trying to tackle him. Just, you know, just kind of like a boxer between the jabs and the hooks, and just trying to constantly keep them on their toes.
I think one thing, too, if I remember correctly, that you mentioned is trying to just make things relatively simple. And I think that's kind of something that you don't hear a lot of football coaches talk about, especially on the offensive side. They're trying to design all these elaborate plays, but it's like, you know, sometimes the simplest things can work best.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want them thinking, you want them playing. So we try to keep it as simple as you can. You know, you got to try to put in answers for what you're going to see. We try to keep it simple and just play fast, so they're not out there thinking. So you'll see us trying to push the tempo. So we're not quite where we need to be as far as pace is concerned, but we're working to get towards that. So a lot of that, just my experience just with young men, just when they play fast, they don't leave. The doubt leaves. They're just focused on where do I need to get lined up, what players call, what do I need to do, and they're not focused on the magnitude of the moment or the crowd, the band, the cheer, and all those other things.
It's almost like you're trying to kind of take them out of their own heads a little bit.
Correct.
Defensively, you brought in Michael Richard, your defensive coordinator, who comes in from a highly successful Booker T program. You've talked about how his philosophy matches yours. What exactly do you mean by that from a defensive coordinator position?
Absolutely. So he's got an aggressive mindset, similar to I do. Offense down the field, push the ball down the field. We want to play with tempo, and he's got the same mindset. You know, we want to challenge offenses. We want to make quarterbacks uncomfortable. We want to win on first down. Our goal is to have them in second and long, constantly, and then pushing out third and long. We're limiting their playbook and what their ability to do is. He's got a great scheme. He implements it well. He's a great teacher. I'm excited to see it in a little while.
I was able to watch a little bit of Fletcher's crowd last week. It looks like that. Coach Blitz likes to bring pressure, and he brings pressure from a bunch of different areas.
Absolutely. It doesn't matter how smart our coaches are. We're still playing against 15, 18. So if we can make those young men, those offensive line, those offensive line, or confuse that quarterback for a second, just get a little crease for us to make something happen. That's what we're trying to do. And doing that sometimes you're going to use those plays to check each other. Let's checkmate you. You can live with that. You can live with that. At the end of the day, we feel like we're going to make more impact plays. You're going to have a bunch of guys playing both ways, especially early in the season. When it is hot, it's a little more conditioning. What have y'all been doing? Throughout this to make sure y'all are ready for the environments that you're going to face just weather-wise. Absolutely. One thing we try to rotate in and focus on solely just focus on our starters. If a guy does try to have a plan, when are they going to rest? How many plays can we catch their breath? And then the other thing we really challenge is just tough. We do we condition before the entire practice. Tuesday, how to go through offense and defense and a full practice. We do that on purpose because we know what that feels like. And a lot sometimes practices, but in practices, really feel like that's going to feel environments late in the game. We have a chance. They know what it's like to execute.
Looking at a couple key guys. I think one guy can be big for your team is Dave Shaw. You already brought up his name. Starting running back. He kind of just stepping where you need him to on the defensive end. What's your plan for him on both sides of the ball?
Dace is our marquee out in the back of the ball between the tackles and space. So you'll see him flex out, but a receiver on the backfield. I think the challenge that he presents his start and stops I've ever seen. Just being able to just cut and see his visualize. So we really want to allow him going to those guys up front. Those that challenge, give him a little bit of space to get defensively. He's a guy that can stop in the run. He's a guy that can cover slot receiver. He's so versatile. It really gives.
Looking at another guy that play both ways, and that's Jaquan Evans. Former offensive lineman, he's your starting right tackle. What are you expecting from him? And I know he's a young player, but how high is his potential?
His ceiling's probably some of the biggest Shawnee's had. So he's got the frame that you desire. 6'6", 6'7", 275, so he's not overweight. He's a 40 frame. He's got good footwork. We're really trying to get him to play with a great level, great pad level, great leverage, and not stand 6'5", 6'6", in the middle of 6'6", and getting down there play where he can do that. But he's really coming along. His offensive line coach is doing a great job with him as far as fine tuning his technique and really helping him have a better understanding of the game. I think you'll see us run behind him quite a bit because we know that if we need to play offensive line, I can trust that he's going to give us everything he's got to go make that play.
And finally, Coach, before we move on and talk about tonight's opponent in Seminole, one of the biggest stories across the state and really made national news, unfortunately, was the incident at the Del City Choctaw game last week that unfortunately left a 16-year-old dead. I know being a former coach at Del City, that really had to hit you hard.
Well, it did. So I was there that night. I was on the sideline. So I got to witness it. So I experienced it firsthand. It's very unfortunate. And so my thoughts and prayers go out to all the involved, those coaches involved, coaching staffs, and the families too. It's a very scary moment. You're in the middle of a game and you just don't know what happened. You don't know what's going on. We've talked about it. The administration at Shawnee has really took a positive approach about making sure that we eliminate some of the factors that could cause that in the past. And that Shawnee Police Department, in conjunction with Shawnee Public Schools, I really feel like has a solid plan, along with OBU, where we're going to be playing at, to keep entrances secure. They got enough security out there and kind of crowd awareness. And I think now that something like that is happening, I think that nobody's going to leave their guard down anymore. You know what I mean? People are going to be cautious of the possibility of that. And so I trust our administration, our athletic directors, all the way up to our superintendent, along with our police department, that they have a great plan in place to help keep us safe, so we can just focus on playing football.
Have you unfortunately had to talk with the players about what to do in case something like that happens?
Yeah, and it's sad in today's day and age. It's better to be prepared than caught off guard. So because of the situation that did happen, we did address it, kind of what we think our game plan needs to be, because in that moment you don't know how to react until it happens. You don't know what you're going to do. And so we have talked about it, we discussed it, we have a plan in place of kind of what we think we need to do and what our steps need to be. And so hopefully we never have to execute that plan, but we are prepared in the event.
All right, well, thank you, Coach. Let's take a break, and when we come back, Coach Madonna and I will talk about tonight's opponent and the Seminole Chieftains. This is the Fire Lake Enterprises Coaches Corner right here on KGFF.
The Fire Lake Enterprises are proud. Bistro inside Fire Lake Casino, the grill at Fire Lake Golf Course, and for something special, try Flame Brazilian Steakhouse inside the Grand Casino. Fire Lake Enterprises, backing the pack. The Fire Lake Enterprises are a proud supporter of Shawnee Wolves football. Shopping for groceries? Fire Lake Discount Foods in Shawnee, Tecumseh, or McLeod has everything you need. Fill up the car or truck at the corner store or the Grand Travel Plaza. And when the weather is great, there is no better place to be than Fire Lake Golf Course. Your Fire Lake Enterprises back in the pack.
Welcome back to the Fire Lake Enterprises Coaches Corner here on KGFF. I'm Chris Cox, and I'm joined by Shawnee head coach Jason Madonna. Coach, tonight you get your tenure with Shawnee High School started. You're a relatively young head coach. This would be, I believe, your fifth season as a head coach after your stint at Bethel, but you take on the most experienced and winningest coach in Oklahoma high school history, in Mike Snyder. I'm not sure about your background and history with him, but you got to have a ton of respect for what he's done throughout this incredible career.
Absolutely, man. First of all, just to last as long as he did, year in and year out. And I've had a great opportunity to get to meet him and talk to him. We played against each other when I was at Bethel, and then solid football players and are filled with them, and so we're expecting a battle up front. We've really challenged our offensive line to step up to that challenge, and so we're going to try to take advantage of what we feel like is our advantage on the edge with our receiving core and our backs, and so try to stretch them, 53 and a third wide and vertical, and try to create some lanes that we can take advantage of.
What are a couple other keys to tonight's game besides just kind of what you talked about right there?
I think the key for us offensively is we're going to have to throw and catch. We're going to have to execute. If we come out and drop footballs or misplace our throws and put ourselves in bad situations, it's going to really hurt us. And defensively, we got to tackle. If we got to wrap up and tackle, we can't give them the extra yards. We got to keep them contained. I think if we can do those things, if we can throw and catch offensively and we can tackle at a high consistency defensively, then we put ourselves in a position and we'll win the football game.
You mentioned throwing and catching. You've had some position battles this offseason, one of which at quarterback with Jameer Owens and Zyron Campbell. So kind of the million-dollar question, who's the starting quarterback tonight for the Wolves?
Absolutely. Well, I guess you'll see in person here in a little bit, but Jameer Owens is going to come out. He's going to take the first snaps, and we're going to give him the reins and let him go. He's earned it. He's been a solid leader for us all summer long with the 7-on-7 and throughout fall camp, and he's really taken an understanding of what we're asking him to do, and he's been a good leader for us, so we're going to give him the first go, and we're going to let him ride it out, and I'm fully confident that he's capable of leading our offense to give us a chance for success.
Are we going to see both quarterbacks tonight, or is it just going to mainly be Jameer's show until, unless the game maybe gets out of hand toward the end of things?
No, we have a plan for Zyron. One thing about Zyron, he's got an immaculate arm talent. He can really let the ball go, and so we definitely got a plan for him to get some snaps and get in the game within the flow of the game and not just situationally. So you should see both tonight unless, we're just absolutely rolling and we don't want to mess up our rhythm, which hopefully is the case in a little bit. But I would expect to see both tonight.
All right, Coach. Well, thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to speaking with you throughout the season. Good luck tonight.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Go Wolves.
This has been the Fire Lake Enterprises Coach's Corner. Stay tuned, and when we come back, we'll have the countdown to kickoff as the Shawnee Wolves get set to open their 2023 season against the Seminole Chieftains. This is Shawnee High School football on 100.9 FM and 1450 AM. Classic Hits, KGFF.
KGFF Shawnee, K265FE Shawnee.
KGFF Radio, in cooperation with the Oklahoma Secondary Schools Activities Association and the Shawnee High School Athletic Department, present Shawnee Wolves football.
Shawnee touchdown! Shawnee touchdown! Touchdown! Shawnee!
Wolves football on KGFF is sponsored by Fire Lake Discount Foods, Bank First, Harrison Discount Pharmacy, Citizen Potawatomi Nation, Fire Lake Golf, The Clinic Pharmacy, Watkins Heating and Air Conditioning, Berkshire Hathaway Benchmark Realty, Gordon Cooper Technology Center, Red's Tire and Battery, Finley and Cook, and Arvest Bank. And now Shawnee Wolves football is on the air.
A new season and a new era begin tonight for the Shawnee Wolves football program as they kick off their 2023 campaign against the Seminole Chieftains. Hello, everyone, and welcome inside the Sovereign Bank broadcast booth. I'm Chris Cox, and I'm joined once again this year by my broadcast partner, Landon Green. And Landon, this era of Shawnee football begins with a new head coach in Jason Madonna. He comes from Del City, where he served as the offensive coordinator for the past 6 years of that explosive Eagles offense.
Yeah, it's really exciting to get him in here, get to see what he can do. He's been out in the community, really outreaching and getting out there, so I'm excited to see what he can do on the field.
Another part of this new era of Shawnee football is a new, albeit temporary, home stadium. Jim Thorpe Stadium on Shawnee High School's campus was damaged during the April 19th tornado. It's expected that it will be ready for next season, but there just wasn't enough time to make the necessary repairs to get it ready for tonight. Thankfully, Landon, OBU, who also suffered a lot of damage from the tornado, they were kind enough to open up their stadium to the Wolves, and this is a stadium you're a bit familiar with.
Yeah, I got to play in here a couple of years. I mean, this is a school and a community at this this school that does a lot of outreach. You know,
Yeah.
they help out the community as much as they can, and so this is par for the course for OBU and the people here at the school.
And like I said, OBU suffered a lot of damage. I mean, you go around the campus and you still see construction equipment out there. I see some scaffolding. Rayleigh Chapel, which is right across from us, they still have boards on their windows. And I was talking to the OBU SID yesterday, and he said that the roof and everything with Rayleigh Chapel probably won't be done for at least another year.
Yeah, I mean it's tough. You know, the community went through a lot when all that happened, but you know, getting to see everybody sort of band together and get everything back up and running, it's been awesome to see.
There have definitely been a lot of changes this year, and one change that the Wolves are trying to make this year, it's on the scoreboard. The Wolves were 0-10 last year, and they come into the season actually on a 14-game losing streak. Landon, more than anything, the Wolves, they just want to break that streak tonight.
Yeah, you got to get out there, get a dub tonight. Seminole coming off a loss last week. They're hungry. They're going to come in this week hungry, ready to go. You got to come in ready to go yourself.
We're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, Landon and I will talk more about this new Shawnee football staff and the way that they want to play. This is Shawnee Wolves football here on 100.9 FM and 1450 AM. Classic Hits, KGFF.
Shop Fire Lake Foods, where loyalty pays off. With Fire Lake's perks and paybacks, every time you shop, you can earn points that you can redeem for groceries and gasoline at the Fire Lake Corner Store. It's our way of saying thank you for your loyalty, and we think you deserve nothing but the very best. So why wait? Sign up for perks and paybacks today at firelakefoods.com and start enjoying the rewards of loyalty. Fire Lake Discount Foods, where loyalty pays off.
Every day brings new possibilities. They could be simple, like making dinner plans with friends, or exciting, like starting a new side hustle, or maybe huge, like buying a new home. Whatever life brings your way, Arvest Bank's highly rated mobile apps give you control of your finances. Pay bills, manage your cards, send money, and more, all on your time. So say goodbye limits and hello possibilities with Arvest Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Shawnee Wolves football is on Classic Hits, KGFF.
The Shawnee High School band's about set to play the national anthem, so we are going to keep it here as they play the national anthem. That was the Shawnee High School Marching Band, the pride of the pack right there, performing the national anthem. Welcome back inside the Sovereign Bank broadcast booth. I'm Chris Cox, and I'm joined by former Shawnee Wolf Landon Green. And Landon, we talked in that opening segment about Shawnee's new head coach, Jason Madonna, and in talking with him this offseason, he said when we look at his offensive game plan, because he will call plays as the head coach and offensive coordinator, he said his game plan is simple. It's to get the ball in the hands of his playmakers and get them in space. Now, it sounds simple, Landon, but I'm sure that's a little bit easier said than done.
Yeah, you know, you got to get people out in front. There's a lot more strategy to it, obviously, and teams are going to start keying in on that as the season goes. But, hey, he's already got the basics down. Get it in the ball, get the ball in the hands of your playmaker and let them make plays.
And it's worked for just about everywhere he's been. He was the assistant at Midwest City. He became then the head coach at Bethel High School just down the road. Had a tough 4 years at Bethel, but he said in his last 6 years, which have all been at Del City as their offensive coordinator, he learned a lot from the coaching staff there, including Mike Dunn, who's now at Carl Albert. And he said he learned a lot also just about head coaching from some of the other coaches, including Lenny Hatchett, state championship winning basketball coach for the Eagles. So Coach Madonna, he knows what he wants to do offensively. He's had a lot of success in terms of his scheme offensively, and we'll see if it can translate here to Shawnee. He has plenty of athletes to work with, Landon. This roster, it's young, just 8 seniors on this roster, but it has a lot of experience. A lot of these guys who are sophomores and juniors saw a lot of playing time last year, and hopefully that experience, along with their natural athleticism, will allow the Wolves to be a bit more successful this season.
Yeah, I mean, they got out there, you get beat around a little bit, but you sort of learn from that. And this season, you're talking about a team that, found themselves on the losing end all last year, but they had a couple of plays. There was that glimpse into what they could be. And you get them together another year, get them over the summer, get them to work into the new offense over the summer. Get to see something interesting this year. I think they're going to have a lot more time to kind of gel over the course of the season, but I think in this first game we're really going to get to see kind of what they can offer.
Yeah, and I think that this hire for Shawnee and Coach Jason Madonna, I think it's going to end up being a really, really good hire. Has a lot of experience everywhere he's been. As an assistant, he's won. He's been able to learn from a lot, but I think one thing that's going to make Coach Madonna's stint here at Shawnee a successful one, it's the staff that he's put around him, and that's led by defensive coordinator and associate head coach Mike Blitch. And he, quite frankly, Landon, Dax Leone, the athletic director here at Shawnee, and Jason Madonna, they pulled off a coup to get Mike Blitch. They pulled him from Booker T. Washington up in Tulsa, one of the historically most successful programs in all of Oklahoma high school football, and they were able to get Coach Blitch, who was the defensive coordinator at Booker T., to move down to Shawnee and take the defensive coordinator job here. I mean, quite frankly, that's just a huge get for Shawnee.
Yeah, and I think that goes to show kind of what the potential is here at the school. People are noticing it around the state. People want to work with Coach Madonna. People want to work for a guy like Coach Leone. And so you like to be in these certain situations where, you feel like you can be successful in the future. You're looking to the future. And, yeah, Coach Blitch probably was sitting there going, yeah, look at this team. I mean, they're young guys, but they've been playing together for a long time. We'll see what they can do.
Blitch, he's an aggressive coach, a lot like Coach Madonna is offensively. So we'll see what the Wolves do with this 3-4 base defense. But one thing I do know is he's going to bring a lot of pressure. And I think that's one thing that we didn't see a ton of last year, but we're going to see more of it this year under Coach Mike Blitch.
Yeah, that 3-4 you got to be sending linebackers everywhere, bringing guys off the sides, off the corners, and you just never know, at any point in time, exactly what can fall into your lap.
Yeah, and the two coaches, Coach Jason Madonna and Mike Blitch, they share similar philosophies. They want to be aggressive. They want to attack the other team. And they want to be the ones applying the pressure. They don't want to be the ones reacting. Madonna does that offensively. Blitch does that defensively. And I think when your two schemes have the same basic philosophy, that can only be a positive.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, you're talking about two sides of the ball, that are really keying in on that aggressive mentality. Something that they didn't really have last year, is kind of seemed more passive on the offensive side. The defensive side, very aggressive, but the offense a little bit more passive, willing to take the yards where they could. I think, you got two aggressive things. You're going to get burned every once in a while,
yeah.
But for the most part, you'll take that. As long as everybody's going 110%, you're going to take them, being out of position one time and maybe getting burned, but they're going to be running around, getting after the ball and making things difficult for the other team.
And I got to think, too, with so many players going both ways, that's got to help because that way they're not having to switch mindsets depending on what side of the ball they're on.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it truly is just one of those things where, you got a guy whose head is in the game. They're not walking out there cold. They haven't been, sitting on the bench and just kind of thinking about what they could do. They've been out there. They're warm. They're ready to go. And, they're going to play a lot of teams this year that are going to kind of have guys that are playing one way or the other. But, this team's going to have to go both ways, and they're going to be warm, ready to go for it.
Now, while Madonna and Blitch, they're both new, the position coaches are actually a mix of new faces and familiar faces. Tyler Harrison at offensive line, J.R. Moore at running back, Tom Williams at the defensive line. They're all returning assistants, and that's something that Madonna, he wanted to do. He wanted to keep some of last year's staff so that some of the voices for those young guys would be familiar.
Yeah, I think that's important. I think you got to have guys in there that are familiar with the mentality, the team, the community, and so that's important for any coaching staff to go out whenever you bring in your own guys. always go out and find somebody that's a part of this community that can really, reach these kids whenever it's, it seems like you're the outsider. Always bring somebody in that kind of knows how this works.
Now, some of the new faces include Gerard Reese at quarterback, Brendan Brown at wide receiver and special teams, Jarrett Gwynn at tight end, Dustin Lovelace along the defensive line, and Braden Hunt and Bryson Hunt at linebacker. And then along with those new faces, there are a couple guys who are familiar faces to the Shawnee community. They're just in a new role, and that's Lane Cooper and Tristan Wyatt. Both of those guys played for the Wolves when they were in high school. They're now making that transition to coaching. And Landon, I think what sticks out to me besides that, and we can talk a little bit about just getting, like you were saying, getting guys in the community, but I think one thing that really sticks out is just the number of coaches that this staff has, and I think that can only help develop these guys better.
Oh, yeah, because now you don't have to worry about, one coach doesn't have to worry about what he has to do in practice. Oh, well, I got to coach quarterbacks, and then I got to coach safeties.
Right.
You're focused on one thing. You can individualize practice, basically. You can break it up into specialized groups then, and then not only that, but then once you get into the defense, now it says, okay, now we can put it all together. And that's a really important thing to have whenever you come, whenever you put a staff together, that you're able to fill out that full staff.
Yeah, and I think, too, kind of like we were saying, just with the mindset between Blitch and Madonna being on the same page, it shows that there's a clear vision for this program, and people are buying into what head coach Jason Madonna, and then, of course, it all goes up, too, to athletic director Dax Leone and new superintendent Dr. Aaron Espelt, that they're all kind of aligned with what they want this program to be.
Yeah, and it's like you said, it's the whole school. With everything that's happened in the past year, you're thinking about, hey, what can we do to improve? Literally start from the ground up in some respects, and so you're kind of thinking about what can we do about it, and this is the first place you start. Right off the start of the year, your football team goes out, and if you can get them successful, you're talking big time.
Well, we're going to take another break. When we come back, we'll look at some of the Shawnee players that Landon and I are going to be keeping an eye on this season. This is Shawnee Wolves football here on 100.9 FM and 1450 AM Classic Hits, KGFF.
Harrison Discount Pharmacy opened its doors in 1986. David Nicholas and his friendly staff have been serving Shawnee residents with quick refills plus handling transfer prescriptions with ease. Medicare billing can be complicated. Don't stress. The Harrison Discount Pharmacy staff are experienced in all aspects of billing. Enjoy competitive pricing, flu shots, and local delivery. Call in your prescription 24/7 to 405-273-9906.
Score a great deal from Domino's Pizza in Shawnee with their mix and match deals for $6.99 each. Pizza, hot wings, sandwiches, pasta, specialty breads, desserts, and so much more. Kick off the season right and have it delivered right to your home. Don't punt on the coupon finder, drinks, or sauces. Domino's Pizza in Shawnee. Log on to dominospizza.com.
Shawnee Wolves football is on Classic Hits, KGFF.
Welcome back inside the Sovereign Bank broadcast booth here at Crane Family Stadium. I'm Chris Cox, and I am joined by former Shawnee Wolf Landon Green. And Landon, we just talked about the coaching staff for the Wolves, so let's look at some of those key players. This is a roster that's young, but it is experienced. As I mentioned, only 8 seniors on this roster. The 2 largest classes, though, are juniors and sophomores, and that bodes well for the future because that means they actually have a couple more years to actually gel together so they can make some noise.
Yeah, you're talking about a team that this year can really put some numbers up, surprise some people, and then, like you said, in the future, really be something whenever we get into their junior, senior years in a couple of years, get to see what they can do.
But this roster, despite its relative youth, it is experienced. A lot of these guys, especially the key players, saw a lot of playing time last year. And so while the future's bright for the Wolves, I think with the experience this team has, the present could be fairly bright as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this team could, like I say, could surprise some people this year. I know that they were picked tied last, I think, in the Oklahoman. Yeah. So, you're talking about, people don't really expect you to do anything this year. I think that this is a team that, they're bringing back some young guys. They got the experience. I think they could very easily find themselves at a point at the end of the year where it's like, hey, you got to win this to get in the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. You look at this district, obviously, Carl Albert is going to be, Carl Albert should win state. Let's just be honest. It is what it is with the Titans almost every single year. But I think you look after that, McGinnis, you probably got to pencil in for a playoff spot. They're always up there. But outside of that, you got 2 spots, and you have probably 4 or 5 teams in this conference that could all kind of compete because you don't know what you're going to get out of Lawton Ike. Piedmont, if you can get in front of Piedmont the way that they just run the ball, you can't really they can't really catch up with you. Guthrie's going to be tough, but they lost quite a few players from last year's team. So you have a lot of teams with a lot of question marks, and I think that this Shawnee team, like you were saying, they can definitely make some noise, and it's because of the experience that this team has.
Yeah, and you handle things. We saw things at the end of games last season that they're not going to make those same mistakes.
Right.
You saw things at the end of the Southeast game. You saw things at the end of the Lawton Knight game. You saw things at the end of the John Marshall game that you learn from. You can't go back and change them, but you learn from them. You get another chance at it this year. And I think that you're talking about a team that's, like I say, is going to go out there. They're not going to make those same mistakes that they made last year. And like I say, I think they could surprise some people, even some people in the community.
Looking at some of the key guys on this team, I think what this team does will rely a lot on what Deshaw does. 6'1", 170 pounds. He's a good-sized running back. He can run between the tackles, and then if he gets out in the open field, he can run away from you. He was Shawnee's backup running back last year, but he's going to slide into that starting role this year. But along with that, we saw him as a great defender for the Wolves last year, and he's coming back to that outside linebacker position. He's going to be a two-way player for the Wolves, and I think he has the potential to be a two-way star for the Wolves.
Absolutely. No, he's a guy, like you said, once he gets out in space, he's kind of got that get up and go. He's a guy that, he's tough to bring down. I mean, he's just a big old cat. And so you're talking about a guy that's going to go out there, play ball, and like you said, he's just a football player. He just gets out there, and, there's not much that's going to stop him out there. So, yeah, I'm excited to see him.
I think another key player for the Wolves, it's going to be Jameer Owens. He and Zyron Campbell battled it out in the offseason for that starting quarterback spot, and Jameer won the job. Now, both are really good athletes and can make plays with their feet. I think if you just look at the two guys as quarterback, Zyron has a little bit more of a lively arm, has maybe a little higher ceiling than Jameer does, but Jameer is more accurate, and he's just safer with the ball, and that's really going to be key for the Wolves this season is limiting those turnovers.
Yeah, well, we talked about it before we got on, limiting the mental mistakes.
Yeah.
This team's talked about it all summer long. We're going to limit the mental mistakes. We're going to limit the mental mistakes. Turnovers fall right into that category. You're going to limit the penalties, but you got to limit the turnovers if you want to win games this season.
Now, I know there's a plan to play both quarterbacks, maybe tonight, unless one guy just gets a hot hand, then you might only see just one. But I know that they have a plan for both quarterbacks depending on what the situation is. But it doesn't matter which quarterback is out there if that offensive line isn't doing their job. And Jaquan Evans, he's the guy on the line that I'm excited to watch. He's 6'5", 6'6", already pushing 300 pounds, 290, and he's a sophomore. And Landon, it's, you hear that size, and sometimes you wonder, especially being so young, how's he carrying that weight? Well, I think you talk to any coach, he carries that weight really well, and I think they think he could be the next great Shawnee lineman.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've been watching, I've been looking at things all summer long, checking in all summer long, and he's a guy that I've seen at camps.
Yeah.
He's a guy that people have been talking about at team camps. I was talking to you about Tristan Wyatt, the offensive line coach now, when he was in school. And he was a guy that whenever he first started, he didn't really understand football that well. By his senior year, he was an absolute beast.
Yeah.
And he's his coach now. So he can actually teach him the techniques and how everything works. He's a guy, like you said, you're excited to watch him. I'm extremely excited to watch him because I love to see a good old offensive line get his nose in there and knock some people down.
Also, before we look at some other players, we're actually honoring an offensive lineman tonight. Creed Humphrey, a lot of people know who that is. Super Bowl champion Creed Humphrey. He is being inducted into the Shawnee Hall of Fame tonight. And, talking about linemen just kind of growing into that position, he's one of those guys that had to as well. He came out as a freshman, and I remember watching him as a freshman. He was playing linebacker. Mm-hmm. He was a big kid, but playing linebacker. He had to actually grow into that, all-state center, which obviously then went on to be an All-American center at OU and now a Super Bowl champion. But so Shawnee has that lineage of putting good linemen out there, and Jaquan definitely has the ability to be that next guy.
Absolutely. I mean, like you said, just that lineage, the line, the give back that these guys give back into the community and helping these guys out. It's going to be huge, and Jaquan's a guy that can very much live up to that name.
Now, defensively, we mentioned Day Shaw already, but I'm excited about what Ryan High can do. He had over 100 tackles last year, really came on strong, I thought, toward the end of the year, and I'm excited to see if, as a junior, he can take that next step.
Absolutely. He's a guy, like we talked about with Jaquan, getting your nose in there. He's not afraid to get his nose into the play. It seemed to be that he was everywhere on the field last year. It seemed like anything that you needed, if you needed to stop, Ryan was there to make the stop. If you needed an interception, he was there to get the interception. Yep. He's a guy that can really fly around the field. He's got a great eye for the ball, and he just really knows how to get out there and play.
Well, we're going to take another break, and when we come back, Landon and I will break down Shawnee's opponent for this 2023 season opener, the Seminole Chieftains. This is Shawnee Wolves football here on Classic Hits, KGFF.
Whether buying or selling, you can count on Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Benchmark Realty to be your real estate advisor, negotiator, and trusted professional for all your real estate needs. We believe every client deserves a knowledgeable, well-trained agent to represent them. Our goal is to ensure our clients a stress-free experience. Need advice about real estate? Call Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Benchmark Realty at 275-8182 or 598-2126. Please visit our website at bhhsbenchmark.com.
Citizen Potawatomi Nation's Cultural Heritage Center, located near Shawnee, Oklahoma, features 11 immersive galleries with digital and interactive exhibits. Visitors learn about the tribe's history from origin stories to modern day and gain an understanding of Citizen Potawatomi oral traditions and lifeways. Admission is always free. Open weekdays 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays 10 to 3. Visit the Cultural Heritage Center on the web at PotawatomiHeritage.com and on Facebook.
Shawnee Wolves football is on Classic Hits, KGFF.
Welcome back inside Crane Family Stadium and the Sovereign Bank broadcast booth. I'm Chris Cox, and I'm joined by Landon Green as we get you set for this 2023 Shawnee Wolves season opener. Landon, this is a new era of Shawnee football as the captains are coming out onto the field for this opening kick. And, you know, it's a new era for Shawnee, but for Seminole, it's kind of the same that they've seen for the past 44 years now, or entering their 44th year under head coach Mike Snyder, and it has been an incredibly successful tenure. Winningest coach in Oklahoma high school football. I think he has 2 or 3 state championships under his belt. I mean, just an absolutely incredible career he's had and an incredible program that he's built.
Yeah, this is a powerhouse. They're guys that know how to play football, and yeah, he's definitely coached them up.
Yeah, this is a team, though, that did struggle last year. Only 3 wins last year. Now, one of those did come against Shawnee, but Seminole, they did not get their season started off the way they wanted to. They played in week 0 last week. They took on and hosted Canadian High School out of Texas, and a 55-0 loss to Canadian Landon. Not the way that Seminole wanted to get their season started, so you know they're going to be wanting to come out here tonight and prove that they're a better team than that.
Yeah, they're going to come in hungry. Shawnee's going to have to be ready for them. They're going to come in wanting that first win of the season.
Seminole, it's kind of tough to say what they're going to do. I know defensively they like to bring some pressure, and we'll probably see that. Offensively, they're going to lean heavily on the run, but again, as you heard Coach Madonna say during the Coach's Corner, when you have a game that gets out of hand and it gets out of hand so quickly, teams just kind of fall back on whatever their first day, second day install was. It's not going to be anything too crazy. So I think what Shawnee saw on tape from Seminole last week, they might see a little bit of that, but I think they're going to see a lot more from Seminole this week.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I say, this is a team. They're going to be putting stuff together, trying to figure out what they can do, especially after last week. They're still figuring themselves out after the summer, so we'll see what they can do with it.
Well, we're going to go ahead and take one more break, and when Landon and I come back, we'll have your injury report, and we will have your starting lineups. This is Shawnee Wolves football here on 100.9 FM and 1450 AM. Classic Hits, KGFF.
Experts say it takes 10,000 hours to master a skill, but you don't have to be a master to get started. At Gordon Cooper, our hands-on training gets you on the right track right now, with dozens of programs to fit your future. It takes hard work to turn a hobby into your hire. So get to it. Your success story is a lot closer than you think. Gordon Cooper, powered by Career Tech.
The Clinic Pharmacy has a rich history and tradition of working hard to improve the quality of your life since 1967. You can have your prescriptions filled and shop for baby apparel, plush toys, warmies, blankets, seasonal decor, plus gift wrapping is free. Friend them on Facebook to see information important to your everyday health and the best times to get your immunizations and boosters. We're not sure what happened with the horse? The Clinic Pharmacy, working hard to improve the quality of your life.
Golf tip number 1 is to relax and have fun. Fire Lake Golf Course is the perfect place to soak up the outdoors with friends and family. Golf is a great way to challenge yourself no matter your age. There's no better feeling than when you hit a great shot or sink a long putt. Relax, have fun, and keep your eye on the ball at Fire Lake Golf Course. Book a tee time. Call 405-275-4471.
For many years, most people in the midst of arranging a funeral have had only 2 choices, cremation or burial. But there is a third option available, aquamation or flameless cremation. McEllier and Owens Funeral Group offers this environmentally friendly, less costly alternative to traditional cremation or burial. Mike McEllier or Robert Owens would be glad to discuss this water-based, sustainable method of final disposition with you. Call McEllier and Owens today at 405-695-5006 or stop by 5106 North Harrison in Shawnee.
Shawnee Wolves football is on Classic Hits, KGFF.
Welcome back inside the Sovereign Bank broadcast booth here inside Crane Family Stadium. I'm Chris Cox. Tonight the Shawnee Wolves kick off a new era of football under new head coach Jason Madonna. And with that, let's go ahead and take a look at that first injury report of the season. And Landon, there's one little injury. LaRon Thomas has been dealing with an ankle injury. I have seen him out there, I will say, warming up. So hopefully that's a good sign for the Wolves.
Absolutely. Good to have everyone back. Good to have everyone ready for that first game.
And real quick, as we get set for this opening kickoff, let's take a look at your starting lineups. First off for the Shawnee offense, at left tackle, a 6'3 junior, number 75, Warrior Squire. At left guard, senior, number 79, Isaac Hodges. At center, senior, number 62, Harvey Villa. At right guard, junior, number 60, Rayson Campbell. At right tackle, sophomore, number 78, Jaquan Evans. At slot receiver, junior, number 1, Ejon Thomas. And at wide receiver, senior, number 8, LaRon Thomas. At wide receiver, sophomore, number 9, Delmone Miller. At running back, junior, number 24, Day Shaw. And at fullback, number 25, senior, Quentin Trapp. At quarterback, junior, number 2, Jameer Owens. And real quick, before we get to Landon starting lineups on defense, we are about set for this opening kick as we're going to get going here a little bit before 7 o'clock. Actually, they are throwing me off just a bit, but it will be the Wolves kicking off to the Seminole Chieftains to start this game. And there's the kick by Shawnee down to about the 5-yard line. It's muffed by the Seminole receiver. He picks it back up. That's number 6, Jay Ladd, and Ladd is dropped right at the 20-yard line. A good play for the Wolves as Landon, you'll run us through that Shawnee starting defense now.
At defensive end, sophomore number 23, Lance Williams. At defensive tackle, freshman number 75, Logan Skelton. At defensive end, number 80, Jamario Joyner. At outside linebacker, junior number 11, Toby Gray. At inside linebacker, junior number 10, Ryan High. At inside linebacker, senior number 40, Jason Hare. At outside linebacker, number 24, Day Shaw. At corner, number 5, Xavier Scott. At the other corner, number 20, Dietrich Beavers. At free safety, number 1, Ejon Thomas. And at strong safety, number 9, Delmone Miller.
Donovan Garfield at quarterback for the Chieftains. He gets the snap, and he's going to look to throw. Here's a blitz by Shawnee. That pass is up, and that pass is dropped. That was a good pass right there by Donovan Garfield as he was trying to hit Isaac Bighead, and Bighead just dropped it. Actually, excuse me, that was Mason Bennett who just dropped it.
Yeah, a good pass there. Guy had a bunch of Shawnee players in his face, able to get it off, just could not seem to connect.
So first drop of the game for Seminole, and it brings up 2nd down and 10 from the 20-yard line. 3 receivers going out to the left side, 1 receiver to the right. Seminole going left to right to start the game. Shawnee will be going right to left. Garfield making a couple checks at the line of scrimmage. Garfield gets the snap. He'll turn around, hand it off to number 6. That's Jay Ladd, and Ladd fighting forward. He's going to get only a couple before he's brought down. It looks like that was number 21, Dawson McNeil, in there, along with number 10, Ryan High.
Yeah, great job there by the defensive line, kind of pushing guys back, allowing the linebackers to flow through, and they're able to get back there, hit him at the line of scrimmage. He does get a couple, but they're able to wrap him up.
That was actually Toby Gray who was in there on the tackle. And with that, it brings up a 3rd down now and 8. 3rd and 8 for the Wolves as they try to get off the field here on this season opening drive. 3 receivers to the left, 2 receivers to the right side as they have an empty backfield for Garfield. Now he motions, brings Ladd in motion, and they will blow the whistle as we have a false start on Seminole. It will be on number 3, Mason Bennett. So a false start on number 3, Mason Bennett, the wide receiver. It'll back Seminole up 5 yards, Landon, and Shawnee now with a really good opportunity to get off the field on 3rd and 13.
Yeah, that's big there. You get a good couple of stops, then you get the pushback on the penalty. This is big.
3 receivers to the left again, 1 receiver to the right for Seminole. It's an empty backfield, and now Garfield will bring Ladd into the backfield with him. And we have another whistle, and I think we're going to have another false start. We do, and this one will be on the other end of the field with number 17, Landon Bowling.
Yeah, and right there, I think they're getting confused on the play call. They're sending a guy in motion, and I think right now with that sun kind of beating in the face of those guys out there on offense, they're having a tough time seeing the ball get snapped.
These are penalties that Shawnee fans, unfortunately, have seen a lot, and right now they're actually benefiting from these kind of pre-snap penalties. 3rd down and 18 now, and there's a handoff to Ladd. Ladd goes up the middle, and Ladd nowhere to go, and he is dropped. A good play right there by the Shawnee defense. I think that was big number 73, Logan Skelton, the freshman, in there to make that tackle.
Yeah, and Skelton's a big old cat, got the belly out. You know, he's a dog in there. He's doing a good job. Just plugged up the hole, able to get the stop.
A gain of about 2, but it makes it 4th down now and 16 from the 14-yard line. The Wolves should get really good field position. LaRon Thomas, I believe, is back to receive this punt, standing just inside the 50-yard line at the 48. There is the punt. It's a high punt by Donovan Garfield. Shawnee just needs to get out of the way and make sure that they don't touch it. It will take a slight Seminole roll, but still really good Shawnee field position at the 41-yard line, Landon, and that is the kind of defensive start that the Wolves wanted this year.
Absolutely. They played great ball, able to get a couple of breaks your way on the penalties. Now your offense is in a good position. We get to see what this offense can do. A tough season last year, tough sledding. They probably almost got outscored by the defense last year. We finally get to see exactly what they get to do on the positive side of the field.
Yeah, so the Wolves will start off 1st and 10, ball at their own 41-yard line, as they will have great field position to start this game. It is Jameer Owens at quarterback. 2 receivers to each side. Here's Owens. He's going to look to throw. He's going to take a shot on this opening play, and that pass is caught for a big gain on 1st down. Number 9, Delmone Miller on the post route, and the Wolves in business down inside the red zone at the 15, but Miller shaken up on the play. Landon, a good start. Unfortunately, you have the injury to Miller, but a really good start there as Owens throwing the ball into what wind we do have. He was able to get it down to Miller, and Miller was able to make the grab.
And one thing we didn't see a lot of last year, we saw a lot of the defense being in the face of the quarterback as he's throwing the ball. Offensive line, they were right on point. You know, they're doing a great job out there, keeping the guys out of the face of Owens out there. And, yeah, it looked real stout out there. A great pass, a great catch, and then unfortunately the injury at the end, hopefully they're able to shake that off.
So we'll see what the Wolves can do here. 1st and 10 for Shawnee from the 15-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Wolves. Ball at the 15-yard line. As Owens completed the long pass to Miller. And now we get back to action. 2 receivers to the left, 2 backs in the backfield, 1 receiver to the right. There's a handoff. Nope, it will. No, Owens does hand it off, and that is Dietrich Beavers on the run. And Beavers pushes his way forward and gets about 5 down to the 10-yard line.
That's one good thing about Beavers. He's real shifty. He's a smaller guy, so he's got shifty feet. He's able to get around to the outside, and then once he's out there, make a couple guys miss, gets a good gain there.
So 2nd down upcoming for the Wolves. 2 receivers to the right. 1 receiver to the left. There's a handoff, and that's Beavers again. No, it's Owens on the keeper. Owens trying to get to the edge. Owens reaching forward, and Owens just shy of the 1st down marker, but able to get down to the 7, and it'll be 3rd down and about 2.
Yeah, and that's a good pull there. He reads it all the way to the last second, sort of waits on that defensive end to make a decision. Once he does, he pulls it. He's able to get it close to that first down marker. We'll see if Shawnee can convert it here.
3rd down, 2 coming up. 3rd down and 1 coming up is that he's down actually at the 6-yard line. A little surprised we don't see Day Shaw out there on the offensive end of things right now. Here is Owens. He's just going to keep it, and he's going to follow the block. Owens trying to turn the corner, trying to get to the end zone. Dives! Touchdown, Shawnee! What a great start for the Wolves.
And right there, a great outside block there by Dietrich Beavers leads the way, able to get around to the outside, and then the dive at the end. You always love to see it. It's a great job there. A great effort there by both sides of the ball to get the ball in the end zone. Offense executes, and now the Wolves are up 6.
And absolutely great play calling there to get athletes in space, exactly what Coach Madonna wants to do, and he did it right there. Here's Rhett Nissan to attempt the extra point, and that kick is up, and that kick is good. And Landon, the Shawnee Wolves lead the Seminole Chieftains 7-0 here in this one, as we have 8:21 remaining in the first quarter.
Yeah, that's a great way to open it up. You know, something that we talked about before the season, you know, it's what's this offensive line going to look like? And right there, you're talking about an offensive line that looked like they were together. They look like they're communicating out there. They're opening up gaps for their guys. And then overall, the offensive execution there on that drive, absolutely excellent. Jameer Owens makes great reads on that drive. Dietrich Beavers able to do his thing. Delmon Miller able to make those catches. And so far tonight, Shawnee playing a great game. Obviously, it's very early in this game. You don't want to get too hyped. But, I mean, you're looking at this team thinking, man, this might be a big night for them.
Yeah, a big touchdown there for the Wolves puts them up 7-0 with 8:21 remaining in the first quarter. And Landon, that was a great first drive, but what's even better than that kind of drive is listening to that drive on KGFF while you're eating some Domino's pizza. We got a great deal with Domino's, as they got us pizza here in the press box. They gave pizza to our guys out at the studio, and let me just tell you, Domino's is fantastic. Right now they're running a special. It's 2 for $6.99, and that does include their new pepperoni stuffed crust, or their pepperoni stuffed cheesy bread, as they just have a lot of great offerings. So be sure to order online today at Domino's.com. There's the kick by Rhett Neese. It's a good kick. It'll drive Ladd all the way back to the goal line. Ladd muffed the kick, but he picks it back up, and now Ladd trying to make a couple moves. And Ladd is going to be stopped again and again. It will be a little rough field position for Seminole, as Ladd was hit pretty quickly at about the 14-yard line by, I'm trying to see who that was. I think it's number 21 who made the tackle for the Wolves, Dawson McDaniel.
Yeah, and Rhett Neese just making it difficult on those guys back there, making them run back, trying to get it. And whenever you do that, you kind of put yourself in a bad position. Ladd has to pick it up off the ground. Doesn't really get much momentum going his way, and the team's able to get down there. Again, another great play there by the Shawnee special teams.
We got a bit of a swirling wind here, so it was kind of like at first Neese was kicking into the wind, but now he's kind of got the wind at his back, so he was able to really drive that ball pretty well on that last kick. Garfield and the Seminole Chieftains offense come back out onto the field. 2 receivers to the left side, 1 receiver to the right, 2 backs in the backfield. It's Ladd with him, and now Ladd will go over to the left side and go in motion. Here is Garfield looking to run. Garfield makes a guy miss in the backfield, and now Garfield is tripped up. Dietrich Beavers comes up and makes the big hit. Garfield, a big guy, 6 foot, 193 pounds. Beavers not as big, but he's able to upend him right there.
Hey, one thing we learned last year, Dietrich Beavers, a small guy. You look at him, you think, he's not much. He's a strong guy.
He is.
He's really strong. So, he's got all his leverage in his legs right there, able to make a great tackle in space.
It was a gain of 4 up to the 18-yard line, so it'll be 2nd down and 6 now for the Chieftains. Seminole trying to get set. They're going to come out with 2 receivers to the left side, 1 receiver to the right, 2 backs in the backfield. Looks like number 10, Jordan Lowe's the fullback for the Chieftains. 3 on the play clock. They're able to get it off just in time. Here's Garfield with the throw, and that pass is incomplete. And we do have a flag on the play. That pass is intended for number 17, Landon Bowling. Had to go down to the ground and couldn't make the catch.
Yeah, and just having a tough time connecting right now, quarterback to receivers. See what this call is.
It'll be a holding penalty on Seminole. And I would imagine Shawnee is going to accept the penalty and make it 2nd down and long instead of 3rd down and medium. Yeah, they're looking over at the Shawnee coaches, and Coach Madonna letting defensive coordinator Jason Blitch make that call, and he will accept that penalty. So it will be it's actually going to be half the distance to the goal. I think they got that penalty on number 53, Jaden Stewart, the center. Called for the hold. That'll back Seminole up to the 9-yard line, so it'll be 2nd down and long now. 2nd and 15. 2 receivers to the right, 1 receiver to the left. Garfield with the snap. Garfield will keep it, and Garfield will look to run. Garfield breaks 1 tackle. Garfield trying to shake somebody else, but he can't get around Zyron Campbell, and we'll have 3rd down and about 7, I think, depending on where they spot this ball, as Campbell made a good tackle there in the open field. We were kind of talking, Landon, in the pregame about what the plan for Zyron was since he didn't win the quarterback position. Well, you're seeing him a lot on defense right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's just getting out there, kind of moving around, and right there able to basically get them right where they would have been, had they not had the penalty. But, hey, you're talking still a 3rd and 7. A little bit long medium.
Yeah, 3rd and 7. I think it's a yard further than what it would be. And we have a timeout taken by Seminole. They were having a hard time getting lined up. Play clock was running down, so the Chieftains take a timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. 6:35 remaining in the first quarter. Shawnee up 7-0 here on Classic Hits, KGFF.
Fred's Tire and Battery is locally owned and proudly serves Shawnee and the surrounding area. With 2 locations, you get fast professional service. Fred's offers alignment, oil changes, and a complete line of batteries, all proudly made in the USA. Plus Firestone, Bridgestone, and Mastercraft tires. The next time you need service on your car or truck, be sure to stop in Fred's Tire and Battery. 2 convenient locations, 16 West Highland and 2533 North Harrison. Your one-stop, on-the-spot auto service headquarters.
Hey, Shawnee fans, Finley & Cook CPAs is proud to be part of the Wolves Pack for over 75 years. From the heart of Shawnee, Oklahoma, we've seen legends rise and unforgettable moments shine on the field and court. As our Wolves tackle, dribble, and score, remember, just like Shawnee's spirit, our commitment to our community and Wolves never wavers. Go, Wolves! Proudly supported by Finley & Cook, serving Shawnee's numbers, nurturing Shawnee's dreams.
Shawnee Wolves football is on Classic Hits, KGFF.
Welcome back to Crane Family Stadium here on the campus of OBU. It will be 3rd down and 7 upcoming for Seminole. They have 2 receivers to the right side, 1 receiver to the left, and there's Garfield looking to throw. Garfield trying to set up a screen. That pass is going to be caught, and the Seminole receiver will get just to the sticks, I believe. It'll be just enough for a 1st down. That was number 17, Landon Bowling. So just enough there, Landon, to make the play.
Yeah, it was really close there. I think he actually fell on top of somebody and fell over the top there. So able to get the 1st down. Unfortunately, can't get the stop there. But so far, Shawnee's been at least getting around the ball when it's thrown.
And I think, too, one thing that you saw as well is that he almost went down to a knee to make the grab, but he was able to keep his feet just enough to get to that down and distance for a 1st down and 10. Here is a handoff for Seminole. That's number 10, Jordan Lowe, on the carry, and he lunges forward and gets about 5 to the 29-yard line.
One thing about it, Shawnee's getting back there. They're getting their arms wrapped up around the ball carrier, but so far tonight, Seminole able to at least fall forward for a couple of yards. Even though they get hit at the line of scrimmage, they're still falling forward right there. Hit at the line of scrimmage drags a few defenders for a few yards there.
Ryan High made the tackle for the Wolves. 2 receivers to the right side, 2 receivers to the left. Ladd in the backfield to the right of Garfield. Garfield gets the snap, and he's going to look to throw. Garfield stepping up, and now Garfield's just going to run. Garfield gets the 1st down. Garfield breaking a couple tackles and finally brought down number 9 for the Wolves, Delmone Miller, in there. So good to see him back out there. Also in on the tackle, number 21, Dawson McDaniel.
Yeah, Garfield, a great job there. I mean, he just feels the pocket kind of collapse on him. Pulls up the middle, and there's a whole lot of space out there. A guy that's a little, we talked about Dietrich Beavers being shifty. He's a shifty guy himself, so he's able to get out there and get the 1st down for him. Shawnee able to get out there and get the stop.
3 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the right. Ladd in the backfield with Garfield, who's calling out signals to his offensive line. They'll bring a guy in motion now. There's the snap. Handoff goes to Ladd. Ladd drops the ball. The ball's still on the ground, and Ladd is able to jump on it. as he just, I don't know what happened there, Landon. There was nobody around him. I think he was just trying to tuck the ball away, and he just dropped it.
Yeah, switching hands, trying to get it to the outside, and right there, like you said, just kind of lost it out there, able to get it back. But you get a huge loss there, a huge pickup there for Shawnee if you're that defense. Seminole was kind of finding you with you on your heels a little bit, and now they just got the almost turnover there, and that'll help you out.
That was a loss of 11 on the play down to the 28-yard line. DeMario Joyner, Lance Williams on the tackle. 3 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the right. There's a little screen pass out to number 17. That is Bowling again, and Bowling, he's able to pick up those 11 yards, and it'll be 3rd down and 9 now at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, and right there, just slippery. Shawnee guys getting out there, able to get their hands on them, but just can't seem to bring them down. He's able to get it all the way back to the original line of scrimmage.
Even a yard up above the original line of scrimmage up to the 40, so it makes it 3rd down and 9. Wolves, though, still with a good opportunity to get off the field here, Landon, on this 3rd and 9.
Absolutely.
2 receivers to each side. Ladd in the backfield. Always got to watch for the quarterback run with Garfield. And here is Garfield. He's going to try to dump this one across the middle. That pass is caught, and a good tackle there by Ryan High from behind, dropping Balin Martin. And that'll bring up a interesting decision here for Seminole with the ball at the 44-yard line.
Well, and we talked about it. I mean, Ryan High being a guy who's got a high IQ out there, and he's able to just stick with this guy, and once this guy gets the ball, able to just wrap him up and bring him down as Seminole's going to bring out the punt team.
They will bring out the punt team. Now, one thing that Seminole does do is their punter is the quarterback, Donovan Garfield, and while generally they will punt the ball away, you always kind of got to have that little bit extra antenna up to watch out for the fake. But here's Garfield. He will boot it away. A good spiraling kick, and that'll drive number 9, Miller, all the way back to about the 17-yard line. Miller trying to find some room to work. There's a flag. Miller trying to find somewhere to go, and he ran probably about 30 yards, Landon, and only got about 2. And we have a couple flags as well.
Yeah, just trying to find where he could go, and it looks like we're probably going to have like a block in the back here. I'm not sure what happened here on the sideline.
We have 2 flags on the play, one on the sideline right by Shawnee, which could be a sideline warning. It could be a guy just ran out of bounds and didn't try to come back in play. We'll see what the calls are. But right now, it stands Shawnee ball at the 19-yard line. We'll see what the verdict actually is, though. As the 2 officials will get together. It's actually going to be Shawnee ball at the 20. And we'll see, but they're going to mark off some yardage here. They do have a block in the back on Shawnee. And I didn't catch that last signal, Landon. Was that I
want to say it was probably maybe out of bounds.
But they're marking 15 yards off and backing Shawnee all the way up to the 5. So it will be Wolves football. Wolves basketball. Wow, we're not there yet. Wolves football at the 5-yard line. So ball at the 5 for the Wolves. As the handoff goes to Shaw, and Shaw tripped up and got right back to the line of scrimmage. No further, as he was tripped up by number 51, Martez Johnson.
Yeah, and right now just trying to get out of your end zone. Probably just going to keep handing it off.
Second down upcoming. 2 receivers to the right, 1 receiver to the left. Beavers in the backfield for Shawnee. And now here's Owens looking to throw. Owens with a pump fake. Owens rolling around, and Owens throws that one into the dirt, intended for Quentin Trapp, but it will be an incomplete pass, and we have another flag, and this flag is at the 2-yard line, so we'll see what this will be here, Landon. If it's a hold, thankfully it's not in the end zone. It is another hold on Shawnee, so that'll back them up a couple yards, or maybe just 1 yard, 2 yards from the 5-yard line. It'll keep it 2nd down. It'll just be 2nd and 12 instead of 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and right there, I think the initial read just didn't come open, and so by the time the offensive line were able to get their get their guys open. They were already pushing through. He just had to hold to keep them off of the quarterback.
2nd and 12 for Shawnee. Actually, they declined the penalty, so it will be 3rd down and 10 for the Wolves. Here's Owens looking to throw. Owens with time, goes across the middle, and that is incomplete, intended for Ejon Thomas.
Yeah, and just had a couple of guys in his face, but he's able to get it off just a little too long. Just looking for something to get the first down or at least get out of your end zone so that, worst case, you get your punter a little bit of space, but we'll see what they can do here on special teams.
Lance Williams will punt the ball away for the Wolves, and he's going to be a little closer to his line of scrimmage than I think he would like. He's a couple yards inside that back of the end zone line. He is able to get the punt away, and it will roll, and it was touched by Seminole, and Seminole's able to fall on it. That ball kind of just bounced right and hit Landon Bowling in the leg, and Bowling was then able to fall on it. But Seminole with good field position at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, and so Shawnee, kind of give and take there. You're talking earlier the great defensive series followed by the great offensive series to get you into the end zone. Now, Seminole with a great defensive series, and now we'll see what they can do on offense, see if they can even this game up, see if this defense can stand strong with their backs against the end zone.
1:40 to go here in the first quarter. Shawnee leading 7-0, but Seminole with great field position here, Landon.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like I say, Shawnee did a great job last season, being in the red zone. Their red zone defense was pretty good, pretty stout, able to keep guys out of the end zone a lot last season. We'll see if they can do it here.
1st and 10 for the Chieftains. 3 receivers to the right side. 1 receiver and a tight end, it looks like, to the left side. Garfield in the backfield by himself. Ladd will come in motion, and Garfield will look to throw. Garfield will roll. Garfield is dropped. That ball's on the ground, and it's picked up by Shawnee. DeMario Joyner jumps on it for the Wolves. As Shawnee got back there, that was number 11, Toby Gray, forced the fumble. And DeMario Joyner jumped on it, and it will be Shawnee ball.
We have a late penalty here. I think this might go against Seminole. It looked like one of the Seminole players was looking back. This might go against Shawnee here.
We'll see what the call is. But right now it will be, I think regardless of the penalty, Landon, it will be Wolves ball.
Yeah, I believe this is going to be a dead ball penalty. I think there was some jawing out there.
Those are some of the penalties that I know Coach Jason Madonna has really worked on trying to eliminate. And it will be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Shawnee, so that will back them up 15 yards from the 31. They would have had decent field position, and now back to the 18-yard line.
And that's unfortunate. I mean, you go out there, you play great ball, you get to the ball carrier, get to the quarterback, get the sack, get the fumble, get on top of the ball, and then you turn around, there's a yellow flag on the field. So something they're definitely going to be running for.
1st and 10 for the Wolves. Here is Owens. Owens is going to roll out to the right. Owens with some time, and Owens finds Ejon Thomas across the middle, and Thomas gets the first down up across the 30 to the 34-yard line.
Yeah, and a great job rolling out, able to find his guy, put the ball right on the spot, and they get the first down. Now this team's rolling.
So it'll be first down for the Wolves, as they have it at the 33, and here is a handoff. Nope, it's Owens, and Owens was just buried, and I thought that might have been a late hit. It looked like Owens was already down, but no whistle.
Yeah, and usually in those situations, they at least protect the quarterback a little bit, but yeah, a little bit of a late hit. They're going to let it go, but yeah, just not really anywhere to go. Tries to pull it, but the linebacker was back there and unable to get it away from him. That's going to be a big loss right there off the big play.
2nd down, really long after that loss by Owens. Down to the 26-yard line they went down to. So 2nd and 17. Here is Jameer looking to throw, dumps it off to Ejon Thomas. Ejon trying to get to the edge. Ejon needs to just turn it up the field. He breaks the tackle, and now he goes down the sideline and forced out of bounds. But he's going to make third down at least interesting here. Third down and about 10 as Ejon was able to get up to the 33-yard line, 34-yard line.
Yeah, and he had a little bit of space up the left side of the field, decided to break it out and reverse field, but yeah, right there able to break a couple of tackles and at least make this interesting.
19 seconds left in this first quarter, and since Ejon went out of bounds, the clock does stop. 3 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the right, and we have a false start here on Shawnee.
It looks like we might have a snap infraction.
A snap infraction on Shawnee on their center. And that'll back them up 5 yards. Back to the 28-yard line. 3rd and 15, 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Owens gets the snap. Owens with time, looking to throw. Owens delivers a nice pass. That pass is caught. And there's Delmone. And Miller is going to be a yard shy. And if Shawnee wants to, they'll be able to run the clock down. And Landon, right now, they're going to have an interesting decision to make as we get out of this first quarter. And the Wolves will have an interesting decision to start this second quarter. And we'll see what they decide to do when we come back. After 1, the Wolves lead Seminole 7-0 right here on Classic Hits, KGFF.
Farewell complications, later stress, goodbye business hours. Want a new level of banking convenience? Say hello to the Arvest Go mobile banking app from Arvest Bank. With Arvest Go, you can deposit checks, pay bills, log lost or stolen debit cards. You can even pay people directly with just a tap. Arvest Go lets you bank virtually anytime, anywhere, and it's only from Arvest Bank. Goodbye limits, hello possibilities. Arvest Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Experts say it takes 10,000 hours to master a skill, but you don't have to be a master to get started. At Gordon Cooper, our hands-on training gets you on the right track right now, with dozens of programs to fit your future. It takes hard work to turn a hobby into your hire, so get to it. Your success story is a lot closer than you think. Gordon Cooper, powered by Career Tech.
Shawnee Wolves football is on Classic Hits, KGFF.
Welcome back inside the Sovereign Bank broadcast booth here on the campus of OBU. We're at Crane Family Stadium. Shawnee with a 4th down and 1 to go. Ball on the 42-yard line in Landon to start this second quarter of play. It looks like the Wolves going to try to be aggressive, and they are going to keep their offense out there. Jameer Owens with a couple of fullbacks in front of him. My guess is he's just going to plow straight up the middle. There's the snap. Owens gets it. Owens goes to the right side, cuts it up the middle, and Jameer gets the first down for the Wolves. And they will move the chains and keep this drive alive.
Yeah, one thing you like seeing the offensive linemen moving up the field. They're pushing safeties out of the way. They're getting up to that second, even third level, and right there able to clear out space, get their shoulders on a guy, clear guys out. You get the first down there, a big 4th down pickup.
It will be 1st down and 10 now for the Wolves. And we're going to have a false start as that'll back them up 5 yards. Not what you want to see there, Landon.
No, you get the big pickup and then you get the false start. That's tough.
So it'll be 1st down for Shawnee. And there's Dietrich Beavers. He gets into the open field, and Beavers going down the sideline. Beavers breaks the tackle, and Beavers inside the 25 down to the 27.
Yeah, he's a shifty guy. He's just a shifty guy. You can't bring him down. He's tough to bring down in the open field. And then you're talking about a great open field blocking by LaRon Thomas out in front, able to clear the way a little bit more. He's able to get a good gain.
So it will be 1st and 10 for Shawnee in Seminole territory up to the 22-yard line. Owens gets the snap. Owens trying to hand it off. Nope, he's going to keep it. Now Owens just tries to cut it back up, and Owens ran out of room, ended up losing a yard as he was brought down. That was a big boy making that tackle there, number 51, Martez Johnson.
Yeah, and right there, Owens trying to make the read. It looked like he just ran into Dietrich Beavers and then decided to just keep it himself. And like you said, a big guy got in there, able to bring him down.
So it will be second down now and 11. Ball at the 23-yard line. As Shawnee comes out with 3 receivers to the right side, 1 receiver to the left, 1 back in the backfield. And here is Owens looking to throw. Owens will roll to his right. Owens will dump it off, and that pass is incomplete. Dropped by Keno Citizen. He would have had a huge gain right there, Landon, if he was able to come down with that one.
Yeah, Keno Citizen, just the safety valve there, able to have a lot of space, and just could not bring it in.
So third down, 11 coming up here for the Wolves. As Owens has 3 receivers to his right, 1 receiver to the left. He's going to roll out to his right. Owens will stop, fire that one, and that pass is incomplete. A little bit over the head of Ejon Thomas, and number 3, Mason Bennett, almost got his hands on that one for an interception.
Yeah, it looked like Thomas was supposed to kind of just set in that window. He was kind of leading his way out there, kind of toward the corner. He may have had it if Owens would have let him a little bit, but right there, I think he was just supposed to sit in that little window. Doesn't do that, and it was, like you said, it was almost picked off. So luckily it doesn't. We get to see Rhett Neese and get to see the leg he has, see if he can put one through the uprights.
This is going to be a 40-yard attempt for Rhett Neese. They'll put the ball right down at the 30-yard line. So a 40-yard attempt coming up for Rhett Neese. We will see what they do as they actually did a little pooch punt. Or no, they wasn't a pooch punt. I'm sorry. It was a missed field goal, and it will be.
Yeah, they
Seminole ball.
Just didn't get his foot on it. Just didn't get enough foot behind it.
He's got a strong leg. We saw him hitting from 37 in warm-ups.
Yeah, just didn't get enough foot behind it. Seminole put a guy back to receive it if it were to be short, but he caught it in the end zone, so the play's blown dead there. So Seminole get it on the 20, and this might actually help Shawnee if it's just a missed field goal.
Yeah, if it's not fielded.
Yeah, Seminole gets the ball
at the 30,
at
right?
the 30. Now they're going to get it at the 20 because he caught it in the end zone. So, hey, out of the negative, you find positives.
There you go. So first and 10 for Seminole, ball at the 20-yard line. 1 receiver to each side. Now a receiver going from left to right for Seminole. Garfield gets the snap. Garfield looking to throw a quick pass. That pass is caught by Bowling, and Bowling is brought down by number 5, Xavier Scott.
Yeah, and Scott right there, able to hit him with a little bit of pop, able to get his arms around him. Looked like Xavier's about to get away.
It's going to be just enough, though, for a first down as they get right to the line to gain at the 30-yard line. First and 10 for Seminole, ball at the 30. 9:50 to go here in this second quarter of play. Landon, after that really good start for Shawnee, they've still been playing really well defensively. The offense, though, has kind of sputtered a little bit.
Yeah, just trying to figure their way out. You know, they've gotten down the field. Now it's about finishing those drives.
3 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the right. Pistol formation, and now Ladd will go to the right of Garfield. Garfield gets the snap. He'll hand off to Ladd. Ladd dancing around. Ladd goes up the middle, breaks a couple tackles. Ladd into the open field, and Ladd across midfield, or right to midfield, where he is brought down by number 9, Delmone Miller.
Yeah, and right there, just a hole you could drive a truck through. Able to find it, make a couple of guys miss. He's a bigger guy, tough to bring down. If you get him around the ankles, he may not be an automatic bring down. It's able to break it for a huge run.
19-yard gain for Miller up to the 49-yard line. So Seminole not quite across midfield yet. Shawnee showing a blitz. Garfield gets the snap, and he'll look to throw. Garfield has that pass deflected, and it is incomplete. I think that was number 11, Toby Gray, who deflected that one.
Yeah, and all night Shawnee's been in his face. Garfield's able to get it off most of the night. But right there, just unable to get it. Toby Gray able to knock it down.
Second down 10, ball at the 49-yard line. And we have an official's timeout as number 65, Ty Washington, has to leave the field. I think the official was pointing to his arm. he must have some blood on him. You can't play if you're bleeding. And Shawnee now allowed to sub as Seminole was allowed to, and it looks like that the Shawnee player, Logan Skelton, might have had some blood on him as well. They're going to get him cleaned up real quick. 3 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the right. 1 back in the backfield for Garfield. Garfield gets the snap. Garfield looking to throw. Screen pass for Bowling. Bowling makes the catch. Bowling dancing around, and then Bowling gang tackled, but he's able to get about 5 yards, 6 yards up to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, and one thing that Shawnee did a great job of in that first quarter was when the ball was passed, it didn't matter where it was, they were doing a great job hustling, getting around the ball right there on that play. Screen pass is thrown, not a lot of guys around the ball. He's able to get a great gain from the screen, and then once he gets out there, the guys show up, but you got to get out there quickly.
Actually give him 7 on the play up to the 44-yard line. So 1st and 10 for Seminole at the Shawnee, 3rd and 3 for Seminole at the Shawnee 44-yard line. Seminole trying to get to first down here. 3 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the right. Handoff. No, it'll be Garfield. Garfield will pitch it off to Ladd. Ladd into the open field, and Ladd, he's tripped up, and that ball's on the ground. And I think Seminole jumped back on it, and they did, but another just outstanding hit by Dietrich Beavers.
Yeah, and Beavers just a guy, again, that you are not going to be able to just get around one, but he's a strong guy. You think you might be able to get over the top of him, and he's going to hit you with all the pop, and right there gets the ball out. Unfortunately, Seminole able to jump back on top.
It is enough for a first down as well. So it will be Seminole football. 1st and 10. Here is Garfield looking to throw, trying to set up a screen to Ladd. Ladd gets the pass, and Ladd breaks a tackle. Ladd cutting it upfield, breaking more tackles. And Ladd finally brought down, but a big gain down to the Shawnee 24-yard line.
Yeah, and right now Shawnee on their heels. Something that we saw a little bit last year, but they were able to sort of come up with an answer. We'll see if they can do that this year.
Gain of 14 on the play. Seminole taking their time. 7:15 on the game clock. 13 seconds on the play clock. 2 receivers, a tight end on the right, and now they'll motion them both back into the backfield, and they can't all be moving like that. Somebody's got to get set. And now we have a timeout taken by Seminole. Shawnee coach is next to us, upset, saying that you can't have 2 people in motion. That should have been a flag.
Yeah, referees missed it, and they're going to give them the timeout.
We're going to take a timeout as well with Shawnee up 7-0, 7:01 to go here in the second, here on KGFF.
Pinecliff Printers, 1815 North Harrison, Suite 1, helps you make a great impression with all your printing needs. Business cards, brochures, banners, even rubber stamps and invoices. Pinecliff's experience-friendly staff will be happy to assist you. Be sure to pick up your Shawnee Wolves football program at all home games. Proceeds benefit the Shawnee Quarterback Club. Pinecliff Printers, 275-7351. Making a great impression for you and a proud supporter of Shawnee Wolves football. Friend them on Facebook. Hey there, local sports fans and community champions. Are you ready to show your true colors and support the Shawnee Wolves? Look no further than Sovereign Bank. When you bank with Sovereign, you're not just a customer, you're a teammate in the game of community success. Sovereign is not just cheering from the sidelines, they're in the huddle, backing every play, every victory. Your deposits with Sovereign directly fund dreams for Shawnee students. Switch to Sovereign Bank today and let's score big together. Sovereign Bank, proud sponsor of Shawnee Athletics. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Shawnee Wolves football is on Classic Hits, KGFF.
Welcome back inside the Sovereign Bank broadcast booth. We're inside Crane Family Stadium on OBU's campus here in Shawnee. Wolves right now leading the Seminole Chieftains by a score of 7-0 with 7:01 remaining here in the second quarter. The Chieftains, though, they're driving. This is the best drive they've put together tonight in Shawnee territory down to the 24-yard line. Seminole's going to come out with 2 receivers and an H-back or a tight end to the right side, 1 receiver to the left, 1 back in the backfield with Garfield. It's Ladd in the backfield. Garfield gets the snap. He'll turn around, hand it off to Ladd. Ladd, though, immediately wrapped up and gang tackled in the backfield. It looked like that was number 40 back there, Jason Hare, and number 10, Ryan High, back to combine for the tackle. So the two linebackers coming on the blitz doing a good job.
Yeah, and a great answer there for the Wolves coming out of that timeout. You can, they were on their heels, having a tough time out there, able to get in the backfield, and that's what you like to see. All the blue jerseys in the backfield around the ball, pushing the guy back. You like to see it.
Loss of 4 on the play means it'll be 2nd and 14 now for Seminole. 2 receivers to each side, 1 back in the backfield. Garfield giving instructions to his offensive line. There's the snap. Garfield looking to throw. It's a quick pass. That pass is caught. That was number 8, Austin Smith, who made the tackle. Dietrich Beavers on the tackle along with Toby Gray.
Yeah, and again, Shawnee getting pressure back there. Garfield doing great with that pressure, but again, a sure tackle there by Dietrich Beavers in the open field.
Garfield is a bigger guy at 6 foot, so it's easier a little bit for him to throw the ball over the top of the defense when those guys do get back there. 3rd down coming up after that gain of 6. It'll be 3rd and 8 from the 22. You got to think this is probably 4-down territory for Seminole. There's the handoff no, it's going to be Garfield who keeps it, goes straight up the middle. Garfield lowers his shoulder, and Garfield gets down to the 11. A good read right there by Donovan Garfield as he was able to suck the Shawnee defense in and pulled the ball at just the right time and keep it for the 1st down.
Yeah, right there in that play, the read, you're looking for the one-on-one, make the defensive end or linebacker, whoever's on that outside, make a decision. Once they do, you either pull it or hand it off. He decides to pull it, and he gets a great game.
1st and 10, ball at the 11. Again, Seminole can get a 1st down without getting into the end zone. There is Garfield. He'll keep it, and Garfield stumbles, but Garfield able to fall forward once again down to the 5. Toby Gray on the tackle.
So far in this drive, Shawnee able to get it to 3rd down. Just right now not able to get off of the field. Right now, Seminole just driving up and down the field, pretty much just doing whatever they want to.
2nd and 4 upcoming for the Wolves. Upcoming for the Chieftains. Seminole with the ball at the Shawnee 5. 1 guy in motion for Seminole. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, 2 backs in the backfield. Garfield keeps it again, and Garfield tries to go up and over the defense, and Garfield into the end zone for a touchdown. So Seminole with the answer, and we have the Chieftains now 1 point away from an extra point.
Yeah, and just a methodical drive so far. Shawnee's offense kind of sputtered like we talked about at the beginning of the 2nd quarter, kind of sputtering out. The Seminole defense doing a great job staying, getting off the field, and so far the offense, they're going to go out there and they're about to go for 2.
Yeah, Seminole's going for 2. Must not trust their kicking game too much, as Garfield's going to try to get everybody set. Garfield, as we have false starts here, as there were about 3 guys moving along that offensive line before the center snapped the ball.
It's just crazy enough it might work. Who knows? Yeah, no, that's the 2nd time it's happened tonight. I think Seminole's still trying to figure out their offense, so
yeah,
you're going to have guys moving around, but that's going to make it tough here. Looks like they're still going to go for 2, but it's going to make it a little bit tougher on them.
It will. I think a lot of times, too, you would see teams, if they had a kicker that they trust, like Shawnee, if they were going to go for 2, they'd probably just try to kick the extra point now. Seminole clearly does not have a kicker that they trust, so they are going to go for 2, and it will be Garfield with 2 receivers to the left. And Garfield will pitch it over to Ladd. Ladd trying to make something happen, and Ladd is going to be stopped shy of the end zone, and that 2-point conversion attempt is no good. Ryan High makes the tackle.
Yeah, and right there, something that we saw last year, Shawnee unable to really control the edge. Right there, they're able to get outside, control that edge, makes it tough. You have to push it out. Dietrich Beavers beats his block, makes it tough, so you have to cut it up the middle. There's guys there. Just a great defensive effort there on that 2-point conversion for Shawnee.
And the Wolves lead still 7-6 despite the touchdown by Seminole. So 7-6 the score, 4:18 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. Wolves will get the ball for at least 1 more possession, and then they will also have the ball to start the 2nd half, Landon. So Shawnee, if they play their cards right here, they could have 2 straight possessions without Seminole getting it.
Yeah, you got to go down there. You got to be methodical here. you have a chance to run the clock down. So you might see them sort of just run the ball here, kind of control the ground game, control the clock, and then be able to strike as they get closer to that 2-minute game.
It'll be the first time we see the Shawnee return game as well. We saw Delmon Miller return a punt that ended up getting called back because of a penalty. We'll now see him have an opportunity to return a kickoff here. He'll be the deep man. Dietrich Beavers also going back for Shawnee. Seminole, one thing I saw on film, it's interesting. They have two guys that line up like they could kick it. So with number 3, Mason Bennett, and number 8, Austin Smith, you could be looking at an onside kick really from either direction. And it will be a kick, and it will go out of bounds, so that'll actually be huge for Shawnee, as that kickoff will go out of bounds, and it will be Wolves ball in really, really good field position.
Yeah, and like you said, just as you said it, they kicked the onside kick, just a little bit too much juice on that ball. And, yeah, like I say, Shawnee's going to get real good field position. That'll bode well for if you want to, go into the locker room up by 2 scores or up by a score, and then get the ball coming out of the half.
Let's see where they spot it. I think they would get it at the 35 if the ball went past the 35-yard line, but it didn't. So that means Shawnee should get it where the ball went out of bounds.
And, yeah, that's exactly what they're doing.
They will get the ball at the 37-yard line, it looks like.
Get at the 42.
42. Oh, yeah. There we go, 42-yard line.
Yeah, you couldn't see the umpire out there. He was kind of hidden. He was sitting behind big old number 75 out there for Seminole.
So we'll be Shawnee ball at the 42-yard line. And the Wolves will come out with 2 receivers to the left side, 1 receiver to the right side. And it will be Jameer Owens getting the ball, and he will throw it quickly, trying to get it to Miller, and that one just a bit out of his reach. It will be second down upcoming for Shawnee.
Yeah, and right there, just hand in the face, couldn't really see his guy, had to throw it a little bit forward, trying to lead him on the screen, and just a miscommunication out there on the catch.
So second down and 10 upcoming for Shawnee. Owens gets the snap. Owens will hand the ball off to Dietrich Beavers. Beavers makes a couple guys miss, gets into the open field. Beavers cuts it over to the left side, and he's going down the sideline. Beavers down to the 20, the 15, the 10, 5. Touchdown, Shawnee! Dietrich Beavers with the huge run for the Wolves. 58 yards for the score.
And again, right there, just again, a hole you can drive a truck through. He gets out there, and then once he gets in the open field, he's tough to bring down. Shifty guy, makes a couple of guys miss, and then great blocking out there by the receivers. Gets out in front. They're able to clear the way, and they're able to put the ball in the end zone. A great play there overall by the Shawnee offense.
Dietrich Beavers with a huge run right there. And there's some high fives coming across, too, for the wide receivers that were out there. Zyron Campbell was out there. Delmon Miller out there throwing blocks, leading the way for Beavers, who just scampered for a 58-yard touchdown. Kick is up, and the extra point is good. So Rhett Neese puts Shawnee up by 8 now. 14-6 the score with 4:04 remaining here in this first half of play.
Yeah, that's big time. That's a big-time play right there for Shawnee. Doing a great job. Like I said, getting the ball out there, getting the ball in your playmakers' hands, into space, letting them do the rest of the work, and then right there, a great job finishing it by Rhett Neese on the PAT.
A great play. We've seen Shawnee with some explosive plays offensively, especially on the ground, and I know that's one thing that Coach Madonna was very hopeful for with this team, and he was talking a lot about Dace Shaw with that. We haven't seen Dace out there. It'll be I'm going to see if I can find something out at halftime while we're not seeing much of him. I don't know if he got shaken up at practice or what happened, but Dietrich Beavers has been doing a great job for Shawnee. He's had a fantastic game. 3 carries now for Dietrich, 98 yards. Think about that. 98 yards for Dietrich Beavers on 3 carries. And yeah, he had 58 right there, but that means 2 for 20 yards, or 2 for 40 yards before that.
Absolutely. Like I say, he's a guy, once he gets out in that open field, he's tough to bring down. Similar to him on the defensive side. He's a guy that's tough to get around once he gets on you. But right there, just able to open it up. And then, like I say, the downfield blocking, that's the biggest thing. That's something that we haven't seen a lot of last year. And the downfield blocking, really huge there. Opens up the gap, and then he's able to scamper into the end zone.
There's the kick by Rhett Neese. It's a high kick. It will be taken at about the 10-yard line by Ladd. Ladd trying to go down the sideline. Ladd breaks a couple tackles. Ladd off to the races, and Ladd finally forced out of bounds, but a big return by Jay Ladd all the way down to the Shawnee 37-yard line, 36-yard line. So big plays for both teams here now back-to-back.
Yeah, right there. Just made a couple of guys miss. Great blocking ahead of him, and he's able to open it up. Put Seminole in a great position here right after the Shawnee score. You're kind of sitting there going, okay, they're a little dazed. You got kind of punched in the chin there, and Seminole with the answer.
It almost looked like Neese, he kicked that ball up there, and it kind of hung up in the wind, but he still kind of out-kicked his coverage just a bit as Ladd was able to field it and make something happen.
Well, we'll see what they can do. We got a short field here. Oh, we got a penalty.
And we have a penalty on Seminole.
I didn't see what it was.
It was the same one that they called against Shawnee earlier, and it's going to, I don't know if it was a
I'll look up the
sideline warning or what, or making contact with the official. But yeah, it's going to back Seminole all the way up to back to the 48-yard line in their own territory.
Well, that's huge too. A big gain, going to push them back on the other side of the 50.
So 1st and 10 for Seminole, ball at the 48 in their own territory. Here is Garfield looking to throw. Garfield with time, floats it up there, and that one's incomplete. Intended for Mason Bennett.
Yeah, and right there, just a little bit too much gas on that one. Bennett actually does get around his guy, gets out there, just couldn't get underneath it. It looks like we got sideline interference.
Sideline interference.
That's what that is. Yep.
I thought you got a warning the first time that happened, but I guess not.
There's been a few things that they have an emphasis on, helmet-to-helmet blocking, and that sideline interference.
Here is 2nd down, and it was Garfield just trying to go somewhere and can't go anywhere as he was wrapped up, and it'll bring up 3rd down now and 10.
Yeah, our guy Ryan High getting in there. Again, that read option, it's tough to see exactly what's happening there. Shawnee sticks in there, stays on their assignment. They're able to get a great play there on defense.
So 3rd down and 10. Shawnee seeing if they can get off the field and get another crack at this before halftime. 3:15 remaining now in this second quarter. Wolves up by 8, 14-6. 2 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the right. Fullback and a halfback in there for Seminole. Here's Garfield looking to throw. Garfield with time. Garfield's going to air this one out, and that pass is incomplete. That was again intended for Mason Bennett, number 34 in there in coverage. That's Kiefer Landis in coverage, and that will bring on the punt unit for Seminole. And Shawnee will have an opportunity here with, probably about 2:45 once this punt is fielded and returned, for them to try to do something here before halftime.
Yeah, 3 timeouts, 3 minutes left. I mean, that's huge. Great play there on that play of just not really holding on or doing anything, getting that interference, just boxing them out. Get that incomplete.
Miller set to return the kick. Seminole kicking with the wind at their back, so Miller's going to back up to about the 15. Here's Garfield. He'll punt it away. Not a good kick at all. It goes kind of off the side of his foot, but it takes a Seminole bounce, and it will come to a rest at the 20-yard line, and that is where Shawnee will take over.
Got 2 flags on the field.
We will see what the penalty is for. One's kind of in that backfield where it might be a holding penalty.
This might help Shawnee out quite a bit.
Well, it depends on what that other one is down there.
That's the other one.
See if we just do it again. We'll see what the call is. The officials still getting together to talk about everything. I really wish, Landon, that they would have officials mic'd up here in high school, especially at the 5A and 6A level. I understand some of the small schools might not have the infrastructure to do that, but most 5A schools, 6A schools have the capability to do that, and I would really like to see that. That's just me from a broadcast standpoint, personally. Going to have a personal foul penalty on Shawnee, an illegal hit to the head, and a holding penalty on Shawnee as well. So the holding penalty will be declined. The personal foul penalty on Shawnee will be accepted. It will be Shawnee ball, but it'll be 15 yards or half the distance to the goal further back. So 2:57 to go. And Shawnee will have the ball, I believe, at the 10-yard line. I think is what's going to end up happening here once they mark everything off. So it will be 1st and 10 for Shawnee. And it will be their ball at the 10-yard line if the officials can get the ball to each other.
Just a little bit outside the reach of the umpire there. He's trying his best. He's hustling out there.
So 1st and 10 for the Wolves, ball at their own 10. 2 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the right, 1 back in the backfield. 2:57 to go here in this second quarter. There's a handoff to Dietrich Beavers. Beavers trying to see if he can make something happen, cutting it out to the outside, trying to at least. And Beavers fighting and got a yard, or lost a yard, but we have a flag on the play. I wonder if this will help out Shawnee, because it only looked like there were white jerseys around.
And it looked like he signaled face mask. See if it's a personal foul.
That's right. High school. I always forget high school until we get into it. It has the 2 different penalties.
It was a personal foul.
So personal foul, face mask penalty on Seminole. And that'll give Shawnee a 1st down. That'll move them up to the 24-yard line. And 1st and 10 for the Wolves at the 24. Here's Owens. Owens going to roll out to his right. Owens trying to look to see if he can make something happen. Owens run out of bounds. And Owens able to pick up about 6 on that scramble. A good job by Jameer just to kind of keep the play alive and make something happen.
Yeah, that's one of those, you're just telling your offensive line, hey, run straight down the line, see what you can find. If Jameer Owens can pull it, he pulls it. He's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock, save a timeout.
Well, they only gave him about 3 yards there up to the 27. It looked like one official was going to mark him at close to the 30. 2nd down, 7, ball at the 27. Handoff goes to Beavers. Beavers looking for a hole, and Dietrich is able to find a hole and get the 1st down up to the 35-yard line. A good run there by Beavers. The defender who got him, I think number 11, Isaac Bighead, was able just to kind of grab the back of his jersey just enough to slow him down and pull him down for the before he was able to break one real big.
Yeah, he's a fingertip away from breaking a big one.
And that will put Beavers over 100 yards on the night as he gets up to the 35-yard line. Here's Owens. Owens hands off to Beavers again. Beavers with a stiff arm, and Beavers wrapped up and brought down at the 31-yard line. Timeout taken by Shawnee. As it will be a timeout taken by the Wolves. 1:56 to go. Let's take a timeout as well. This is Shawnee football here on Classic Hits, KGFF.
Golf tip number 1 is to relax and have fun. Fire Lake Golf Course is the perfect place to soak up the outdoors with friends and family. Golf is a great way to challenge yourself, no matter your age. There's no better feeling than when you hit a great shot or sink a long putt. Relax, have fun, and keep your eye on the ball at Fire Lake Golf Course. Book a tee time. Call 405-275-4471.
The Clinic Pharmacy has a rich history and tradition of working hard to improve the quality of your life since 1967. You can have your prescriptions filled and shop for baby apparel, plush toys, warmies, blankets, seasonal decor, plus gift wrapping is free. Friend them on Facebook to see information important to your everyday health and the best times to get your immunizations and boosters. We're not sure what happened with the horse? The Clinic Pharmacy, working hard to improve the quality of your life.
Shawnee Wolves football is on Classic Hits, KGFF.
2nd down and long coming up for the Wolves. 2nd and 14 with the ball at the 31. Shawnee leading Seminole 14-6. 2 receivers to the right, 1 receiver to the left, 1 back in the backfield with Owens, and that is Dietrich Beavers, who has 100 yards here in this first half. 6 carries, 100 yards, a touchdown for Beavers. As the officials are coming over to talk about some things before we get going here with 1:56 remaining in this second quarter. We got off to a good start here in this one, Landon, and then it's kind of, outside of a couple big plays, it's kind of come to a bit of a slowdown.
Yeah, I think both defenses have sort of settled in.
Beavers in motion. Owens looking to throw. Owens trying to find somewhere to go with it. Owens is wrapped up, and Owens brought down for the sack, as that was number 22 who came up with the sack. As Owens was dropped down at the 28-yard line.
Another timeout here.
A loss of 3 on the play.
By Seminole.
Seminole taking a timeout. Tony Oakley getting the sack. We'll keep it right here, Landon, with 1:43 to go. Seminole, they're going to try to see if they can get the ball back one more time. That was the last timeout that Seminole had, so if they get the ball back, they won't be able to stop the clock again. But Shawnee's gotten off to a good start here in this one. They're up 14-6 over Seminole. They've shown some positives, which is what you want to see. They've shown some good things on offense. They've shown some really good things on defense. It's just some of they still got to just fine-tune some things, and really I think a lot of it has to do with, offensive line, get that kind of cleaned up a little bit. Then, of course, we've seen some of those penalties, too, that have hurt Shawnee for so many years, it seems like.
Yeah, and that's really what it is. I mean, it's just, you get a good gain here, and you kind of bring it back with a false start. Or you get a good gain here, and especially, after the punt earlier, you're talking about, 2 penalties that sort of push you back. Now, you're still on that drive. You're able to push forward, but now you're just moving farther and farther back. So, it comes down to getting Jameer Owens in the backfield, giving him some time back there, kind of figuring out the offense. But once he gets those reads down, it's going to be a pretty solid offense. That offensive line doing a really good job of sort of clearing guys out.
3 receivers to the right side, 1 receiver to the left side for the Wolves. Beavers in the backfield to the left of Owens. Owens gets the snap, and he's going to look to throw. Owens not with a lot of time, and Owens immediately dropped. He was hit hard as number 10 came flying in there, Jordan Lowe. He was able to drop him. Owens looking for a flag, as Lowe did end up kind of hitting him a little bit hard. And then Lowe had something to say about it, but no flag. And that will bring on the punt team now for Shawnee.
I'm surprised they didn't run the ball there, try to get the clock down.
Yeah, I am too. Owens here in this one, 4 of 10 tonight, 62 yards. Of course, the story offensively has been Dietrich Beavers, 6 carries, 100 yards, and a touchdown. Lance Williams back to punt the ball away. Williams gets it away. Not a good punt. It will bounce, and it will bounce out of bounds at the 47-yard line, and that is where Seminole will take over. So 1:28 to go. Seminole 88 seconds to work with here, and no timeouts, though. So we'll see if Shawnee can keep Seminole out of the end zone here before the end of the half.
Yeah, and for Shawnee, you're going to have to watch out for Seminole. They're going to hit you with some quick hitters, get out of bounds.
And we've also seen that, Jay Ladd and Donovan Garfield, they can get you with some of those big plays up the middle. And you get a first down, you do stop the clock in high school. Mm-hmm. I know they've changed that rule in college now, but that's still the rule, to my knowledge, here in high school. Garfield gets the snap. Garfield going with a quick pass. That pass is dropped. That was incomplete. I don't know why they let that play go. That pass was incomplete. That should be an incomplete pass. That was a forward pass. I mean, where they're lined up, Landon, literally is right at our viewpoint, and they will now say that was an incomplete pass. I mean, we are literally right along the line of scrimmage. Yeah. And so that is an incomplete, and it's also another drop, though. Number 3, Mason Bennett, with another drop here for Seminole.
Yeah, that was one that it's a little scary there when the referees kind of let it go. It's hey, what's going on there?
Because Bennett then picked it up and was able to get it up to get about 7 yards.
Yeah. So that's one of those you just got to keep playing through the whistle, and hopefully the referees can make it right.
The incomplete pass, though, does stop the clock with 1:12 remaining. Garfield gets the snap, and there's a bad snap. Garfield will pick it up. He'll roll out to the right, and we're going to have a flag on a hold, but it's going to be intercepted by Shawnee. Delmone Miller with the pick, and it will be Shawnee ball as they will decline that holding penalty, obviously, and the Wolves will take over with 1:07 remaining.
Yeah, and right there, Miller just sort of slowly fell into that zone, and right as that ball was in the air, he's able to high point it and bring it down. I mean, just a great overall play there. You get the hold. Shawnee's going to decline it. You get the ball back with a minute left. See what they can do. 2 timeouts. Anything can happen.
Yeah, I mean, Shawnee's shown the ability to get some big plays, so we'll see what they can do as Miller got the interception, the first of the season for him and for the Wolves, as they will take over at their own 22-yard line. 2 timeouts, 1:07. You got to work a little bit. You got to make some bigger plays, but it's definitely not impossible to get the ball in the end zone.
Well, this is what you train for in practice. 2-minute drill. You do it right at the end of every team drill. Get out there, do a 2-minute drill. We'll see if Shawnee can come away with some points here.
3 receivers to the right, 1 receiver to the left, 1 back in the backfield. Shawnee does get the ball to start the second half, so they can probably be a little bit more aggressive. Owens gets the snap. Owens is going to roll to his right. Owens incomplete, intended for Dietrich Beavers. They're rolling Owens out a lot, and that's a good thing. Get him on the move. He is such a good athlete, but, man, that line is letting guys get back there and get on him in a hurry.
Yeah, and that's a tough thing. You got that big offensive line. They're guys that are real bruisers up in the middle, but they're tough to get out in those corners.
2nd down, 10. Seminole just jumped offside and they let it go. It should, if you go into the neutral zone in high school, that should automatically end the play. Here's Owens. Owens a little pop pass, and that is incomplete. That was intended for, I think that was number 1, Ejon Thomas. And that was number 4, Keno Citizen, and it was just out of his reach, incomplete. And now Landon with 3rd down, 1 minute to go. If I'm Shawnee, I probably run the ball here.
Yeah, let that clock run
and just
down.
Let the clock go. Seminole can't stop it. Shawnee would be able to not run it all the way down with 1 minute to go, but they'd be able to run it a long way down. There's the snap. Owens loses the ball, gets it though, and Owens will be dropped at about the 13-yard line, the 12-yard line, and that will bring on the punt team as Shawnee will be able to let the clock run down quite a bit.
Yeah, and right now, a lot of extracurriculars, a lot of pushing after the play, and I mean they kind of got after Jameer Owens there right in front of the referee. Did not want to throw that flag, though.
Shawnee did that earlier and got a penalty, and Seminole not so much right now.
But a tough go there, I think a couple of plays. I think Jameer Owens, you give him a little bit more time with this offense, we'll see what he can kind of do with some stuff. I think he was rushing just a little bit on a few of those plays. So give him a little bit of time to be back there under the center and see if he can, kind of get his nerves underneath him.
Shawnee will take a timeout, their second of the half. They were letting that play clock run down as much as possible. And so with 9 seconds remaining here in the half, Shawnee will take a timeout. And the Wolves will try to draw up something here to run the last 9 seconds off the clock, Landon. I mean, a decent punt should run off the entire time on the clock here, but you also don't want to get a good enough punt to where Seminole can return it, because we've seen Jay Ladd. He has the ability to do some big things with the ball in his hands.
Yeah, you're going to have to kind of, get the ball down, keep it kind of close, and just make sure that you can get your guys around it.
Lance Williams goes back there to punt the ball away. Standing just inside his own end zone. One thing Shawnee also has to do is they have to make sure that they get a good snap and that Williams is able to handle it cleanly and that they block well here at the line, because you don't, again, want to give Seminole good field position with even a second left on the clock. You want this thing to go down as far as possible and put Seminole in as bad of a position as possible. So Williams gets the snap, punts it away, and that's a good punt by Williams. And it will bounce, and it will be picked up by Bennett, and Bennett trying to make something happen, and Bennett can't make enough happen as we do have a into the half here for Shawnee and Seminole, and the Wolves lead Landon by 8 right now. 14-6 is the score. It was a good start for the Wolves. 14-6 they lead as they try to get the Jason Madonna era started off on the right foot.
Yeah, they went out there, they executed when they needed to, and they're able to get up by a score. So this is a team, like, say, from last year to this year, they look like a different team. They look like they're ready to go whenever they're fired up on both sides of the ball. Even on special teams, they look like they're ready to go out there. They get out there, they get the 2 scores that they get. Jameer Owens and Dietrich Beavers able to play ball tonight, and the blocking's been outstanding. So on the offensive side, doing a great job. Defensive side, you got on your heels on one drive. They were able to put it in, but you stop them on the 2-point conversion, and so far tonight, for the most part, defense played really well. So it's exciting to watch. A great first half. Now they got to come out of the half and play a similar half in the second.
Let's go ahead and take a look at some of those halftime numbers for you. First off, for Seminole as a team with 106 total yards of offense, 16 carries, 56 yards, 7 of 13 passes, 60 yards. They did have the 2 turnovers, 1 fumble, 1 interception, 7 penalties for Seminole also for a total of 72 yards. Looking at some of the Seminole numbers now individually for the Chieftains, leading rusher is the quarterback, number 4, Donovan Garfield, 8 carries, 34 yards, has a touchdown. Jay Ladd, 6 carries, 14 yards. No touchdowns for Ladd yet. And then Lowe with 1 carry for 5 yards passing. Donovan Garfield, 7 of 13 passing, 60 yards. No touchdowns, 1 interception. Landon Bowling, the leading receiver, 4 catches, 36 yards. Jay Ladd, a catch for 14. Austin Smith, a catch for 6. Balin Martin with a catch for 4 yards. Defensively, Tony Oakley, the leading defender, with the 1 sack on the night. Punting-wise, Donovan Garfield, 2 punts, and a 29.5-yard average on those 2 punts for Garfield. Jay Ladd in the kick return game, he's done a good job. 3 returns, 67 yards. He's a dangerous returner for the Chieftains. Looking at the Shawnee numbers now, the Wolves as a team, 98 yards on the ground, 62 yards through the air. The Wolves, 5 penalties in that first half, 50 yards. You kind of maybe want that cleaned up just a little bit, but also Landon, not a terrible number. Definitely doing better than Seminole, and they're 7 for 72, but 5 for 50, a number that this coaching staff is probably okay with, but not necessarily happy about.
Well, there are things you can fix.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's not like, it's a holding penalty. It's not like it's pass interference. There are things that, hey, you can stop false starting.
Right.
You can stop talking to people after the play.
You don't have to get post penalty
so
play.
I mean, it's things that they can stop, and so you're talking, if you can get your guys to stop making those silly penalties, you're talking instead of 5, you're talking maybe 2 or 3.
Leading the way for Shawnee individually, Dietrich Beavers, story of the night for me, Landon. 6 carries, 100 yards, 1 touchdown. Jameer Owens, he's actually carried the ball the most, 7 carries for Jameer. It's weird, his stat line, 7 carries overall, -1 yards because sacks count against it, but he does have the 1 touchdown. Very rarely do you have more touchdowns than yards, but that's where we find ourselves with Jameer Owens. Deshaw, the 1 carry, no yards. Ejon Thomas, a carry, no yards as well. Passing-wise, Jameer Owens, 4 of 12 passing, 62 yards. They've done a good job with him getting out on the edge. He has had 1 drop pass, a couple that he's just been off target on, but, I think overall, you want his passing percentage to be up over 50%, and he's not there right now at 4 of 12. But he's done some good things from the quarterback position.
Absolutely. I think you're talking in a couple of weeks, a guy that's going to be able to complete some passes, get some big yards, and so he's just got to spend a little bit more time in the backfield with his guys, spend a little bit more time with that offensive line. Once he gets a hold of it, and once he figures it out, he's going to be big time for this team.
Delmone Miller, leading receiver, 1 catch for 26 yards on the opening play of the game. Ejon Thomas, or the opening offensive play for Shawnee, I should say. Ejon Thomas, 2 catches, 22 yards. Laron Thomas, a catch for 14. Miller also with the 1 interception on the defensive end of things. So, again, Shawnee up by 8 right now. 14-6 the score over the Seminole Chieftains as the Wolves look to get the Jason Madonna era started off with a victory. We're going to take a break and then send it back to the guys in the studio for the halftime show. This is Shawnee football here on 100.9 FM and 1450 AM. Classic Hits, KGFF.
Discount Pharmacy opened its doors in 1986. David Nicholas and his friendly staff have been serving Shawnee residents with quick refills plus handling transfer prescriptions with ease. Medicare billing can be complicated. Don't stress. The Harrison Discount Pharmacy staff are experienced in all aspects of billing. Enjoy competitive pricing, flu shots, and local delivery. Call in your prescription 24/7 to 405-273-9906.
For many years, most people in the midst of arranging a funeral have had only two choices, cremation or burial. But there is a third option available, aquamation or flameless cremation. McEllier and Owens Funeral Group offers this environmentally friendly, less costly alternative to traditional cremation or burial. Mike McEllier or Robert
Performance by the Wolves, who lead by a score of 14-6 with 2:35, or with about 2.5 minutes before we start the second half. And you gotta like where they stand right now. They did a lot of really good things. Have a few things that they need to clean up at halftime, but did some really good things.
Yeah, I think, like you talked about, very good things. They went out there, they executed when they needed to. They were able to put 2 scores up. Defense getting stops when they need to. One drive, they find themselves sort of, kind of guessing, find themselves on their heels. Seminole gets the score. But for the most part, I mean, Shawnee able to go out there. If they can shore up some of those mistakes like you talked about, you're talking about a big game in this second half.
Yeah, and I think, too, one thing that they did well was they ran the ball well. That was a little bit of a question. Deshaw, who's going to be the team's leading rusher likely this year, he played one play, and I found out at halftime that he did roll his ankle in practice, and they weren't sure if he was going to be able to go today. He tried to give it a go. We saw him down there toward the goal line, tried to make a cut, and just couldn't do it. So they were having to go with their backup running back in Dietrich Beavers, and he's been great. 6 carries, 100 yards, a touchdown in that first half. I mean, you really can't ask much more from him, as he had an absolutely outstanding first half. And that's one of the things that they've done really well is run the ball.
Yeah, that offensive line, what they're doing a good job of getting under that chin of those defensive linemen. And when you get into that chin, they start to look up like this. Dietrich Beaver's a small guy. He's able to just kind of get right under their shoulder pads. And then once they get there, the offensive linemen that are coming off those double teams, they're doing a great job kind of clearing out those linebackers, getting up there. And then what you want, one-on-one, Dietrich Beavers with a safety, he's able to just get around those guys. He's quick, he's shifty, he's small. And then once you get your hands on him, he's a strong guy. You find out he's got a little pop to him. And he's just a tough guy to bring down. And then right there we see him in the open field. He's able to spring it. The other thing I like to see the guys downfield, the receivers that sort of mixing it up downfield, getting the blocks, able to open up space, and that led to the Dietrich Beavers score earlier, and that led to the Jameer Owens score in the first quarter. So you're talking about a team that's really doing a great job on offense of putting everything together, making things happen, and then on the defensive side, getting the stops where they need to and putting the offense in a great position.
Yeah, defensively, the Wolves, like you said, they've been playing really well. They've given up some few yards. They've given up some runs. I mean, Jay Ladd's a good running back. Donovan Garfield's a very mobile, good running quarterback. So the Wolves, they've given up some yards, but for the most part, it's been a lot of bend but don't break. So they've done a good job with bending but not breaking. And again, they played a good first half. Now they just got to do it again.
Yeah, like I say, it's going to be a tough one. You're going to get the ball coming out of the half. We'll see if they can go down and score. That'll be big. Get yourself up by 2 scores, and then see if you can kind of corral Garfield. If you can corral him and kind of keep him inside the pocket, see what you can do there, get some stops. And, like I say, this could be a big night to get your first win in a year.
Wolves will get the ball to start this second half of play, as they're running over to the sideline trying to get everybody pumped up. Big number 66, Kendall Gillum, trying to get everybody excited as he runs over. So is number 79, Isaac Hodges. And Landon, I know one thing that I noticed when I was looking down this roster, and I think probably something that you noticed and we're excited to see, there's some big boys on this roster. We haven't had this kind of size that on a Shawnee team in a few years, but like you're looking at Aiden Mitchell, even though he hasn't played, 5'11", 260. Jaquan Evans, who we talked about. Isaac Hodges, 285. I mean, you got a few guys that are up over that 240, 250, 260 mark, and you need that kind of beef just to, be able to run the ball, and then you got to hope that the coaches can develop that skill set to allow them to not only run block but pass block as well.
Well, and not only that, but you're talking about the guys that play 2 ways. You're looking at the defensive line, and those are guys that aren't out there. They're getting to get that rest. You're talking about on the offensive side, those guys are getting to rest. So you're talking about big boys who get to sit on the sideline, get a drink of water before they actually have to run out there, and they're not tired when they're out there.
Seminole set to kick it away, and it's number 3, Mason Bennett, number 8, Austin Smith, both lined up like they could kick it. Both could, and we could see an onside kick, and it will be Bennett who does kick it, and he will just kind of squib it, and it will be Shawnee ball as number 14 for the Wolves, Devin Barber, jumps on it at the 41-yard line. Interesting kickoff position and plan that they have for Seminole.
Yeah, they're trying to catch you off guard. Great job there. You know, it's tempting to catch that ball and try to run with it. Great job just to get down, let your offense take care of it from there.
So 1st and 10 for the Wolves. Ball at their own 41-yard line to start. Shawnee's going to come out with 2 receivers to the right side, 1 receiver to the left. 2 backs in the backfield with Jameer Owens. We have Quentin Trapp, who's lined up as a fullback, and now we have a whistle here. Not sure why the official stopped it, but they're letting number 10, Jordan Lowe, run off the field and letting Seminole make a substitution. Now they start the game clock back up, or the play clock back up again. Owens gets the snap. Owens will hand off to Beavers. Beavers looking to cut, and Beavers nowhere to go. He's brought down. Actually, that was number 4, Keno Citizen, who was brought down for a loss of 1.
Yeah, and right there, just somebody got their hand in there and tripped him up. Didn't look like they had too much penetration, just not enough room to run around for Citizen.
A loss of 2 on the play. I think that was number 75, David Hernandez, who made the tackle. Here's Owens looking to throw. Owens a quick pass, and that pass is incomplete. That was intended for number 8, LaRon Thomas. And number 12, Eamon Burris, almost intercepted that one, and it still got to the hands of Thomas. He just couldn't come down with it.
I think he was surprised it hit him in the hands. I think he thought it was about to get intercepted. It hit him in the hands and just unable to pull it down. A tough pass there from Owens, and luckily it falls to the ground.
3rd down, 12 now coming up for the Wolves. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Beavers the lone back in the backfield with Owens. Owens gets the snap. Owens going to look to throw. Owens across the middle. That pass is caught. And there's a 1st down for LaRon Thomas. He should get right to the sticks. Oh, no, they're going to mark him a yard short. Wow, that was a bad spot. That was a bad spot. They're going to mark him right at midfield. That was a terrible spot. He clearly got to the line to gain. I don't know why they're not giving him the 1st down, but Shawnee's going to get up to the line in a hurry and go for this one and see if they can get the 1st down. They're going to go with that big formation in front of Owens. Owens is just going to carry it and put his head down and get the 1st down. Jameer Owens, a nice strong run to the 42-yard line, 41-yard line maybe, and that's where Shawnee will now have a 1st down.
Yeah, tough go there. You think you get the 1st down, got to go for it on 4th. But right there, offensive lineman, just get your shoulders square, get a hat on a hat, move some guys out of the way, and get the 1st down. A great job there on that 4th down.
I don't frankly know if I agree with that spot either for Shawnee, but it will be enough for a 1st as Owens gets the 1st on the run, and now we're going to have a flag as we'll have a false start on Shawnee. These pre-snap penalties just drive coaches absolutely crazy.
Yeah, and like I say, it's those things that you can control. It's those, like you said, the pre-snap penalties. Those are things that you can't control a holding penalty. Those happen, but those false starts are really killer.
Here's Owens. He'll hand off to Beavers. Beavers trying to go up the middle, and Beavers is just wrapped up and brought down for a loss of 1.
Yeah, and right there on that play, just blew up the middle of the offensive line. Nowhere to go. It's going to get pushed back.
I believe that was big number 75, David Hernandez, that blew that up. 2nd down, 16. Here's Owens. Owens trying to swing it out, and that pass is incomplete as Owens and his receivers were not on the same page. Ejon Thomas was blocking. Keno Citizen wasn't looking for the ball, and that'll bring up now 3rd down and long. It should be 3rd. The down marker says 4th, but it should be 3rd. Now they get it fixed. So 3rd down and about 14 for Shawnee. Here's Owens looking to throw. Owens is sacked, and he is dropped. That is number 10, Jordan Lowe, who gets the sack on Jameer Owens.
Yeah, and Jordan Lowe's been in the backfield all night, making it tough on Jameer Owens. Right there hoping for a pickup from Dietrich Beavers, just couldn't secure the block. They're going to get sacked way back. A drive that looked promising.
Yeah.
As you get to the 50 and get on the other side of the 50, and then you just keep going back and back and back after the false start and had to punt it away.
There's the punt by Williams, and Williams gets a good punt away, and that one will be fair caught by Mason Bennett.
Yeah, a great punt there. Get your guys get down there and get around the ball. See what this defense can do. Offense kind of sputtered out there in the first drive. See if your defense can go out there and get a stop and give you another chance to march down the field.
It will be 1st and 10 for Seminole. Ball at the 31-yard line in their own territory. A good punt by Lance Williams. He's kind of struggled a little bit, I think, with the wind, but he got a solid punt away right there, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Chieftains at the 31. 3 receivers to the right, 1 receiver to the left, 1 back in the backfield for Donovan Garfield. Garfield will look to throw. There's a quick pass. That pass is going to be caught by number 17. That is Landon Bowling, and Bowling spun away from 1 tackle but did not get away from Toby Gray. Still, though, a decent pickup for Bowling of about 0.5 up to the 36-yard line.
Yeah, that's one right there. Once you get around the ball, you just got to keep wrapped up, try to bring them down, try to get that Seahawk defense tackle, and try to roll them up. Just couldn't get it down, and he's able to break a tackle and get a good gain.
2nd down, 5. 3 receivers to the right, 1 receiver to the left. 1 back in the backfield. Garfield, he's just going to keep it, and he's going to run himself. And Garfield is brought down, and it'll kind of depend on the spot, but a nice tackle there by number 40, Jason Hare. These linebackers have done a really good job for Shawnee, and it looks like they're going to spot. They're going to give it right to the 41-yard line, so just enough for a 1st down for Donovan Garfield.
Yeah, and these linebackers, like you said, they've been doing a good job moving around, getting on the ball, just unable there right there to get it before the 1st down.
3 receivers to the right side, 1 receiver to the left. Ladd in the backfield to the left of Garfield. Shawnee showing a blitz. And here comes a blitz for Shawnee. A quick pass. That pass caught by Bowling. And Bowling is brought down. Good gang tackle. Ryan High there on the tackle, along with number 34, Kiefer Landis.
Yeah, and right there, just guys getting around the ball. Seminole doing a good job of kind of feeling that pressure, getting the ball out quick, letting their playmakers try to make plays. Shawnee doing a good job of at least wrapping up in space. See what kind of gives.
With Seminole getting the ball out so quickly, Landon, if you're one of these corners, do you maybe want to eat up some of that space before the snap and not give them that 7-yard cushion that they're giving them?
You can, but you saw earlier in the game they were able to get behind them too, so it's tough.
There's a pitch to Ladd. Ladd trying to break a tackle, and Ladd brought down by High, and that ball is fumbled, and it will be Shawnee football as Dietrich Beavers comes up with it. Ryan High forced the fumble, and Beavers comes up with it.
And that's one right there. Ladd just kind of has it away from his body. Ryan High brings him down in a certain way. He just kind of starts to lose it right over the top of that tackle. And Dietrich Beavers able to be opportunistic, get on the ball. That's a great play there. Defense trying to figure out what they can do to get the stop. They're able to get the ball out, get the turnover, put that offense back out there and see if they can come away with something. Dietrich Beavers big on both sides of the ball tonight.
Yeah, he really is. And Ladd's run really well for Seminole, Landon, but that's already his 3rd fumble. So the Wolves doing a good job knocking it away from Ladd, who's clearly a little bit loose with the ball.
And Shawnee trying to figure it out. Play clock down pretty low.
There's the snap. Handoff goes to Citizen. Citizen looking to cut it outside. Citizen across the 40. Citizen makes a guy miss, and Citizen across midfield. A nice run into Seminole territory down to the 48. Good run by Keno Citizen.
Yeah, Keno's one of those guys, you get him out in space, you get to see what he can do. And right there, he gets out to the edge, and he's able to make a couple guys miss and get the 1st down.
He's one of those guys that is a good athlete for Shawnee that got a lot of playing time that you're kind of hoping will take maybe that next step this year. Owens gets the snap. Here's the handoff again to Citizen. Citizen trying to bounce it to the outside on the opposite side of the field. Citizen does, and he's bumped out of bounds, and he's going to get right to the sticks. That'll be close to see where they mark it. I think he's going to be a couple yards shy of the line to gain.
Yeah, I'm sure that line judge is going to have a conversation with the guy holding up the sticks. You got to drop those things when the players are coming.
Yeah, you got to get out of the way.
Yeah, I mean that's just a safety player or a player safety issue out there. But a great job there again, getting out to the edge, and like you talked about it, that guy that you're hoping will take that next step. You're hoping he might be able to do it this game.
9 yards right there for Citizen. So 2nd down 1. Here's Owens looking to throw. Owens will roll to the right. Owens trying to see if he can make something happen. Gets it to Citizen, and then Citizen was down. It's not going to be. Keno Citizen was on the ground when he dropped the ball. That's a terrible call by the official. Oh, my word. I have no idea how they're giving him a turnover. Keno Citizen was on the ground when he dropped the ball. Oh, that's a missed call by the officials right there, Landon. I mean, I don't want to criticize these officials. They have a hard job, but that was just missed.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Like you said, I don't know about that when he was on the ground and kind of reached out after he was on the ground and the ball came out by the ground. I mean, you saw him hit the ground and the ball come out. I don't know. Yeah, I don't agree with the call, but it is what it is. Defense is going to have to get another stop.
Wow. Yeah, that's just not good right there. Three receivers to the left for Seminole after that fumble, and it will be Garfield on the quarterback keeper. Garfield gets into the open field, and Garfield brought down from behind. As we have some jawing going on after the play, but Garfield with a nice run up to the 45-yard line into Shawnee territory.
Yeah, I'm surprised with all the jawing going on after plays. The referees aren't saying something to the captains, at least just trying to calm down the tensions.
Yeah. Here's Garfield looking to throw. Garfield, that pass is incomplete as that sailed over the head of Mason Bennett. Garfield on the night, 9 of 16 for 69 yards. He is their leading rusher, though, with 53 yards on 10 carries.
Yeah, he just kind of, he's a guy that can kind of do just about everything you need him to do for Seminole. He gets the ball out quick, he does a great job, has some zip on it, and then if he needs to pull it, he's got the legs to do that.
2nd and 10, 45-yard line in Shawnee territory for Seminole. They're going to go with 2 receivers to each side, 1 back in the backfield. Shawnee showing blitz. Here is Ladd. Ladd trying to bounce it to the outside. Ladd does, but he's going to be wrapped up pretty quickly as Ryan High made the tackle.
A great job there, just fighting down the edge. Ladd, a tough guy to bring down out there, able to get his hands on and bring him down.
A couple officials getting together and talking about it, but nothing else is going on right there with that call. So gain of 2 makes it 3rd down and 8 now for Seminole. Just under 5 to go now in this 3rd quarter. Wolves still up 14-6. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Here's Garfield looking to throw. Garfield goes up, and Garfield's incomplete. And it will be 4th down upcoming for Seminole. Seminole looking for a flag there as they thought Dietrich Beavers wrapped up Mason Bennett and tackled him before the ball was there, but I don't know if that was actually a catchable ball. But, I mean, there was definitely contact before the ball got there. Beavers does need to be careful.
Yeah, really close there, and unfortunately, no flags thrown, so we'll see what Seminole does here. It looks like they're going to run the punt team out, but you got to watch it with Garfield being the punter.
Yeah, Garfield being the punter for Seminole, you always got to be aware of fakes, especially kind of in this area. You could see something here in this area because they're not going to give up too many yards if they don't convert. And now we will have a timeout. We'll have a flag as we'll have a delay of game on Seminole. So that will back them up 5 yards, Landon, and probably mean that they will punt for sure now. So a delay of game there on Seminole.
Yeah, just getting yourself a little bit of space there. Try to keep it out of the end zone.
I don't know if that was space. I think they didn't have the right personnel on.
They still don't have the right personnel on.
Yeah. Garfield trying to get everybody set. And now we're going to have a snap infraction on Seminole, or a false start on Seminole. And that'll back them up 5 more yards. So Seminole with the mental errors.
That's the kind of stuff that could really hurt Seminole. I mean, this is something I know that coaching staff over there is probably wringing their hair out right now.
Yeah. There's the punt by Garfield. It is a line drive punt, and it will take a Seminole roll, and it will be down inside the 15 at the 14-yard line. So a good punt, though, by Donovan Garfield, as it'll be down at the 13, and the Wolves will have 1st and 10 at their own 13-yard line. 4:34 to go here in the third quarter. Wolves up by 8, 14-6. They had a good drive going, Landon, before that Keno Citizen fumble, and we can talk about if that was a fumble or not at another time. But the Wolves were moving the ball. Got to take better care of the ball, though, and make sure that they don't turn it over, especially when they have a good drive going.
Yeah, you just got to keep your hands on the ball, and now you know you have to keep security through the tackle, through contact of the ground. You have to make sure that you hold on to it. You don't want to leave it up in the hands of the ref.
2 receivers to the right side, 1 receiver to the left, 2 backs in the backfield. Here's Owens. Owens will hand off to Citizen. Citizen dancing around, and Keno fights forward and is able to get a couple out of that. Brought down by, I think, number 51, Martez Johnson.
Yeah, and right there just gets what he can. Offensive line had a lot on their hands there. Had a few guys in the box. Tough to get out of there.
Beavers has been playing a lot on defense, not getting the run on offense that he got in the first half. Owens gets the snap. He'll hand off to Citizen again, and Keno this time runs into a wall. Number 75, David Hernandez, ran straight into him, and Keno Citizen not going to get past a guy who weighs about, 130 pounds more than him, 140 pounds more than him.
I told you earlier, I mean, we were looking for the umpire. I mean, he just kind of eclipsed him out there, you know. He just was standing right there, couldn't see him, and so, yeah, that's a big old guy. You're not going to get away from him. So we'll see what Shawnee comes up with here on 3rd down.
Citizen able to get a yard, makes it 3rd down and 7. 2 receivers to each side, 1 back in the backfield, and here's Owens looking to throw. Owens, a quick pass. That pass is a bit high over the head of Delmon Miller, and that was, you know, he had Miller on that little slant, which they've done a lot to relative success tonight, Landon. I think right there, though, Owens kind of saw the pressure, didn't set his feet, and just delivered it high.
Yeah, and that's been most of his passes tonight that have been incomplete. He just hasn't really set his feet. He hasn't really settled into this offense just yet. I think you give him another couple of weeks, though. I mean, those guys are there. Yeah. And he has the arm, and we've seen it, you know, time and time again tonight, that he has the arm to get it there. He just has to, you know, just kind of settle in, not be so afraid, and just get the pass there.
And I think, too, the offensive line has to give him just another half a second or so to really step into that.
Yep.
Another good punt by Lance Williams. This time it will be fair caught at the 50-yard line. So a good punt by Williams, fair caught at the 50.
Defense been playing good tonight, been playing good so far in the second half. Offense still trying to find their way, but this defense is coming out, getting the stops they need to. The offense just has to reward them with another score.
1st and 10 for Seminole, ball right at midfield. Yeah, the defense has been doing their job, like you said, and they need to keep doing it here because it is still a one-possession game. As good as the defense has played, they can't take a drive off. Here is Garfield. Garfield rolling. Garfield trying to get away from the rush, and Garfield will make a couple guys miss and able to pick up a couple yards before stepping out of bounds. Good scrambling right there by Donovan Garfield to get a couple yards.
Yeah, and that's what he gives you back there in the backfield. That's why you put the ball in his hands. You know, if he can't find a guy downfield, he's got great improvisational skills. He's able to just kind of make a couple of guys miss, and even though he sort of had it dead on the right, so maybe a sack, he's able to get a couple yards out of it.
Yeah, number 80, Demario Joyner was back there and had an opportunity to get him, just couldn't quite track him down. It took Toby Gray finally forcing him out of bounds after a gain of 2. 2nd down and 8. Here's Garfield trying to set up a screen. That pass is caught as Bennett is able to make the grab, and we do have a flag on the play. Bennett right now with the ball up to the 37. We'll see if this stands. We'll see if this stands.
Well, the tough thing about those screens, this might go against Shawnee here.
As the official comes out to midfield to make the call, it will go against Shawnee. As we have a face mask penalty on the Wolves. Not what you want to see right there, Landon, as that will give Seminole 15 extra yards from the end of the play.
Yeah, and like you said, that's tough. I mean, that's just a tough go of it. Do a great job of at least getting around the ball, bringing them down, third down situation, and now you got first down inside the 25-yard line.
At the 23-yard line. So there is Bennett. Bennett on the end around. Bennett is chopped down. He was able to kind of keep his feet and get down to the 14, but Dietrich Beaver is able to chop him down.
And one thing about Bennett, you kind of hit him in the legs. Dietrich Beaver's, able to get a couple of big tackles tonight. Hits Bennett right there in the legs. It kind of bounced off. He's a little bit stronger in the legs. But a great job there by Beavers to at least get him down in the open field.
Bennett down to the 16-yard line, so a gain of 7 on the play makes it second down and 3. Garfield, hands off, nope, keeps it. Garfield going up the middle. Garfield spinning. Garfield brought down at the 11.
Yeah, and right now this team's going to have to dig deep. Defensive line just kind of getting blown out of there. See your nose guard out by the numbers. That's not a good sign.
Yeah, they've been on the field, though, for quite a bit, this defense has so far in this third quarter. I mean, Seminole, even though Shawnee got the opening possession, Seminole's dominated time of possession here in this second quarter.
Absolutely.
Here is Seminole with a first down. Garfield trying to find somewhere to go. Garfield a little stutter step, and he's able to get positive yards. And that's one of those that's just going to be frustrating. I think that was number 40 who got back there for the Wolves, Jason Hare. Just couldn't bring him down.
Yeah, and like I say, I mean, he's just a slippery guy. I mean, he's just tough to bring down. Like I say, you got to get your arms around him. And Shawnee just ain't able to do it there.
Got a lot of guys on that defensive side with their hands on their hips. Clock ticking down to 1:10 now here in this third quarter. Shawnee still leading by 8, 14-6. 2 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the right. Garfield keeps it again. Garfield up the middle again, and this time Garfield only a couple yards before he's brought down. Toby Gray on the tackle.
Yeah, and that's one right there. He keeps it there and sort of just gets tattooed right there as he goes up the middle.
Got a yard. So it'll be 3rd down and 5. Seminole can get a first down without getting a touchdown. But they got to get down to the 1-yard line to get that first. 1 receiver to each side. As Garfield has 2 fullbacks essentially in front of him, you got to think that this run is going to go to the left side. And it will be Garfield who keeps it, and he's brought down in the backfield. Toby Gray with the big play for the loss, and that'll bring up 4th down. A big play right there by Toby Gray.
And that right there is play design. You actually think, hey, maybe we can get away with this with Toby Gray, kind of let him go free in the backfield. But he's able to make the play anyway. A great job there to end the quarter.
And that will do it for the third quarter. At the end of 3, Shawnee up by 8, 14-6. We'll have the fourth quarter right after this. This is Shawnee football here on 100.9 FM and 1450 AM. Classic Hits, KGFF.
Pinecliff Printers, 1815 North Harrison, Suite 1, helps you make a great impression with all your printing needs. Business cards, brochures, banners, even rubber stamps and invoices. Pinecliff's experience-friendly staff will be happy to assist you. Be sure to pick up your Shawnee Wolves football program at all home games. Proceeds benefit the Shawnee Quarterback Club. Pinecliff Printers, 275-7351. Making a great impression for you and a proud supporter of Shawnee Wolves football. Friend them on Facebook.
So long, paperwork. See ya, hassles. Goodbye, not knowing. When you're ready for a modern mortgage experience, say hello to the Arvest Home for Me app. With Home for Me, you can get pre-qualified, upload paperwork, and track your loan's progress, all from your phone, and all with the support of a dedicated lender. Home for Me simplifies the mortgage process, and it's only from Arvest Bank. Goodbye, limits. Hello, possibilities. Arvest Bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Shawnee Wolves football is on Classic Hits, KGFF.
Welcome back inside the Sovereign Bank broadcast booth here on the campus of OBU. We are inside Crane Family Stadium here on OBU's campus. Chris Cox alongside Landon Green. As Landon, we get set for this fourth quarter of play. The Wolves are up right now by a score of 14-6. It's been a really good game for the Wolves, and they're trying to come up with a stop right here. Fourth down. Here's Garfield looking to throw. Garfield has a guy wide open, though, into the end zone for the touchdown. That was number 8, Austin Smith, who was just absolutely wide open.
Yeah, and right there, just design, you bring everybody this way. Defense bites on it, and then they're able to just dump it right over the top. Looks like we're going to have a late penalty on Shawnee.
There was guys from both teams pushing and shoving after the play.
Yeah, looks like the referee had some words for, couldn't see who it was, but maybe DeMario Joyner. He was kind of, yeah, he was full on yelling at him.
The officials are getting together. We also have an injured Seminole player on the field. I can't see who that is, but we have an injured Seminole player. It looks like it's one of their linemen. They're trying to get him up right now. That's number 63, Colton Spencer. He's down, not putting a lot of weight, or any weight really, on that left foot. So we'll see if he's able to come back, and we'll see what the call is here. I haven't seen a signal from the official yet. Have you, Landon?
Well, it looked like he was talking to Coach down there, and it looked like he was saying it was going to go either way. So Shawnee might get a penalty, Seminole might get a penalty, and this might offset, but we'll see. So, I mean, it's been back and forth all game.
It has, yeah.
All game, but after each play, both teams talking back and forth. It just seems like Shawnee seems to be getting the bad end of the call on it. But
it doesn't look like they're going to signal anything, so they must just pick up the play, or pick up the flag. But either way, we have a big 2-point conversion coming up here for Seminole. A 2-point conversion ties the game at 14 apiece. Garfield gets the snap. Garfield will keep it. Garfield will try to take it. Garfield will dump it, and that pass is going to be caught by Ladd. And then Ladd, he just stood over the Shawnee defender. That should have been a flag, but who knows? We're just going to pretend that we don't know what unsportsmanlike conduct is here, Landon. But hey, with that 2-point conversion, we are tied, and that's the story right now. Tied at 14 apiece, 11:51 to go here in this fourth and final quarter of play.
Well, so far, Seminole came out of the half ready to go. They came out of the locker room. They seemed like they were the most eager to get out there and play. They've executed the best. Shawnee just trying to figure out what they can do. On the bad end of a couple of calls, you know, you can go back and look at that on film, but at the end of the day, you got to execute better. You got to try to get that ball down there and put it in the end zone. So far, Shawnee having a tough time doing that. Seminole finding all the riches this half.
Yeah, they really are. And so the Wolves, one thing when I was talking with Coach Madonna a couple times throughout the offseason that he talked about is, you know, Shawnee, last year a lot of games got out of hand, but, you know, he was hoping to at least make games closer this year. And right now they're in a tight game. But Shawnee just hasn't had to win these kind of games lately. So you don't know how the guys are going to react until you get into this situation. And so it's great to play in these close games, but now they have to be able to go out and win these close games and do those extra things that it takes to win a game. And so we'll see if the Wolves can do that here in this one. It will be Bennett set to kick it away. And with the wind at his back, it looks like he's going to be the one kicking it off. It doesn't look like there's going to be any trickery here. He will kick it. It's a high kick, and it will be taken by number 25. That's Quentin Trapp. Trapp trying to make something happen. Trapp into the open field. Trapp up the middle, and Quentin Trapp, a good return across the 45 to the 47.
Yeah, and right there, just kind of just waiting on that hole to open up. It finally does. He's able to keep it moving up the field and get a good gain there. Great job there blocking by that special teams. Now, we talked about the offense having to execute here. You got good field position. Move that ball down the field and get the ball in the end zone.
That was a return of about 27 yards. He fielded that thing at about the 20 and then made some guys miss and made some good things happen.
Yeah, just like I say, just run sideways until something opens up, and it did.
1st and 10 for the Wolves. Ball at their own 47-yard line. 3 receivers to the right, 1 receiver to the left. Beavers the back in the backfield. Here is Owens. Owens a quick pass to Citizen. Citizen can't handle it. And that one was dangerous. As Citizen batted that one around. Almost led to an interception.
Yeah, and that's the one you're just going to have to go get into the gym on Sunday and just open up that jug machine. Just start throwing some tennis balls through there.
Yeah, Citizen, he was trying to run. He had a little bit of space, and with his speed, he doesn't need a ton of space to make something happen. Here's Beavers with the handoff. Beavers spinning. Beavers trying to make something happen. Beavers cuts back up the middle. And Dietrich with a strong run. And Beavers should be close to the first down. I think that's another short spot, Landon. He got closer to the first down sticks than the 44-yard line.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're seeing out there. I'm right there with you. I mean, we're right here along this line. We can kind of see it a little bit better.
So down to the 44-yard line. Here is Owens, and Jameer just keeps it, and he's able to get the first down as he gets a couple yards.
Just get all you can get.
That'll be a Shawnee first down.
Yep, just had to get what he needed, and he's able to get the first.
3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Here's a quick pass. Gets it to Miller. Miller trying to make something happen with his speed, and Miller brought down out of bounds. As we just had a Seminole player bump into a Shawnee coach, which coaches were looking for a penalty there and might have had an argument.
Yeah, they've been real tight with the flags, but it's been weird. It's been interesting.
It has. 2nd down, 1 to go. Here is Beavers. Beavers trying to go up the middle, and Beavers wrapped up immediately as he was met by big number 75, David Hernandez, and number 51, Martez Johnson. Those are 2 guys that both are about double the size of Dietrich Beavers.
Yeah, and that's one right there. You got to block one of them at least so that they can make the read. Owens just couldn't make the read there.
And on top of that, you only have one of those guys. You think Beavers can probably get away from one. Here is Owens. Owens across the middle, and that pass is incomplete, intended for Ejon Thomas. That one was a little high for Ejon. That wasn't a drop, but that was one that Jameer will want back. And that tells you, being that aggressive on 3rd down, they're going for it here on 4th down.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they've been able to convert all night. See if they can get it across this time.
4th and 2. A little surprised they're not going with that kind of jumbo formation that we've seen on some of these short yardage plays with 10:07 to go here in this 4th quarter. 3 receivers to the right, 1 receiver to the left. Here's Owens. Owens is just going to sprint out to the right, cut it up the middle. Jameer gets the first down, and he is going to get the first down, but we have about 4 flags that are coming out here, and I think this one's going to be coming back.
Yeah, I think we're definitely going to have a few holds on this play.
Keno Citizen not happy if this one's on him. But yeah, these officials are getting together to talk about it. Right now it stands as a Jameer Owens first down right at the 30-yard line. But this one will definitely be coming back.
Well, how long they're talking about it, I'm kind of hoping this might be offsetting.
Yeah, maybe you have a couple.
Yeah, the coaches might have a time to run that, like we talked about, that jumbo set out there.
See what the officials call. As they're still talking about things here. Officials taking their time. now they will back Shawnee up. It'll be a hold and then a sideline warning on Seminole. But that first one is just a warning. And so that'll bring up now 4th down. And the penalty happened right at the line to gain. So it'll be 4th down and 10. And we'll see what Shawnee decides to do on 4th down and 10.
That's interesting. You get the sideline interference call earlier in the game, and then you get a sideline warning after that.
I don't know. But they will spot the ball at the 42-yard line, and it will be 4th down and 10 with the ball at the 42. Shawnee with the wind at their back. Didn't know if they might want to play for field position here and possibly punt the ball away. And yeah, they will. They'll run the punt team out there right now as they'll wind the play clock. As Lance Williams will go back there to punt the ball away. He does have the wind at his back, so he should be able to get something behind this if he can get his foot on it. There's a low snap. Williams able to pick it up, does get it away, and it is not a good kick. And that ball is on the ground. It's still rolling around on the ground, but Seminole is able to come up with it. And that's not what you want, Landon. Well, those are those mental mistakes that we've talked about, and that's one that's just it's just a bad snap, and it's not necessarily mental, but it's still one of those things that you just can't afford to have.
Well, I mean, it's been pretty, that's pretty much what's been happening all half. It just seems like Shawnee just didn't come out awake. The couple of well-executed plays on that offensive drive, then followed by poorly executed plays, a couple of penalties, and you find yourself in the back, and then just a poor snap. And now you're just kind of trying to figure yourself out. This defense is going to have to wake themselves up, see if they can wake up the rest of this team.
Because of that bad snap, that actually is a punt of -1 yards. Didn't get back to the line of scrimmage. 3 receivers to the right side, 1 receiver to the left, 1 back in the backfield. It's Ladd back there with Garfield. Here's Garfield looking to throw. Garfield with time. Garfield is going to air this one out, and that one is incomplete. Good defense there by Shawnee. Number 34, Kiefer Landis in coverage. Brings up 2nd down.
Yeah, great job there in coverage, just kind of forcing this guy toward the sideline, using that sideline as your buddy. And then a great job up front, just getting that pressure back there, forcing Garfield to overthrow that pass.
9:34 to go here in this 4th quarter, all tied at 14 apiece. Two receivers each side, 1 back in the backfield. Here's Garfield looking to make something happen with his feet. Garfield trying to stretch it out. Garfield is going to get wrapped up and maybe pick up a yard as Ryan High was there to make the tackle. He's been all over the place, kind of like you expect. And I mean, he's just been absolutely everywhere. A gain of 1 on the play for Garfield.
Well, yeah, and that entire linebacking crew just in the backfield wreaking havoc. When they need to make a tackle in the open field, they've been there. And a great job there by the entire defense to get around the ball. But, again, that entire linebacking core just playing great tonight getting to the ball.
13 tackles and a forced fumble by my count so far for Ryan High. A great night for him. 3rd down, 9 to go. Shawnee showing blitz. And here's Garfield, quick pass. Pass goes out to Bowling. Bowling trying to make something happen. Bowling gets to the edge and gets the 1st down. We do have a flag, though, and I think this one will be coming back. Ejon Thomas got the tackle, but we'll see if this play stands. I don't think it will. I think this one's going to be coming back, Landon.
Yeah, I think Kiefer Landis was trying to make the play, and he just gets getting held.
And we do have a holding penalty on Seminole. And that'll back him up from the 49-yard line. So that'll push him all the way back to the 39. It'll make it 3rd down and about 14 or so.
Yeah, if you're Shawnee, you're thanking your lucky stars.
Yeah.
So you get that do-over.
So 3rd down. And 14 with the ball at the 39-yard line. 2 receivers each side for Seminole, 1 back in the backfield. Shawnee not showing pressure here. They're just going to go with the 3-down lineman. Seminole trying to set up a screen, and that's an incomplete pass, and that will bring up 4th down. So the Wolves get the incomplete pass there, Landon, and the defense, with help from a penalty, they get the stop.
Yeah, and right there, you feel that screen as a defensive lineman, and you just got to try to find where it's at. And right there, they kind of start to bite on it, but they start to drop back just a little bit as they feel, hey, this is a little too easy for me to get back here. And it made it tough for them to bring in that ball. And like you said, a great stop there by the defense, get a little help from penalties. But that'll be huge for them as they're going to get the ball off the field.
Garfield to punt it away, and he does get the punt away. It's a high punt. It will bounce, and Shawnee will just get away from it. And it will be Wolves football at the 29-yard line. So the Wolves offense will take over at the 29. And Landon, this offense, they just really haven't been able to do much here in this second half. They need to see if they can find some sort of a rhythm here. 8.5 to go here in regulation as we are tied at 14 apiece.
Well, they got to focus on their execution now. I mean, it's one thing, you have a couple of good plays on a drive. You might be able to get a first down or two. But now you just got to keep that ball moving, get the ball down the field, and put it in the end zone. You got to keep executing. You can't take a couple of plays off, and that's what's kind of been happening this half.
2 receivers to the left, 2 receivers to the right as well. So 2 receivers each side, 1 back, Dietrich Beavers in the backfield. And now the Wolves will bring Ejon Thomas in motion from right to left. So they have 3 now to the left and 1 to the right. There's the snap. Here's Owens looking to throw. Owens with time. He's going to air this one out. That ball is up in the air, and that is incomplete. Intended for number 8, LaRon Thomas. Ejon was going out to that outside shoulder. Thomas, though, turned inside and just couldn't get around in time to find it again.
Yeah, just misplayed it in the air. Couldn't quite find it over his shoulder, and by the time he could see it, just couldn't make the play.
2nd down 10, 3 receivers to the left side, 1 receiver to the right. Owens hands the ball off to Beavers. Beavers trying to find a hole, and Beavers gets a first down. And Beavers lowers the shoulder, moves the sticks up to the 46.
Yeah, and again right there, just in a small box, in a phone booth, he's able to make a lot happen, and he's able to get that first down. A great job there by Dietrich Beavers. Again, just a nice, shifty, low back. He's tough to bring down, and then once he gets in there, he's tough to catch up with.
Gain of about 17 on that play. He has had a fantastic night. 127 yards on the ground so far. 2 receivers each side. Here's Beavers again. Beavers straight up the middle, and Beavers, not the big explosive runs we've seen from him tonight, but hey, you know what? 4 yards, stays ahead of the chains.
Yeah, and right there, just a nice trap. Nice trap play up there. Get the guard to pull around. Let that linebacker feel like, oh, yeah, I kind of got this guy dead to rights, and then there's that guard right in your face. Great run there.
Again, 2 receivers each side. Here comes a blitz. Owens with time. Owens a quick pass. That pass is caught by Miller. Miller dancing around. Miller trying to make something happen. Miller a stiff arm, and Miller able to get a couple out of that. He kind of took a step back. Had he, I think, just gone straight forward after making that catch, Landon, he probably would have had the first down.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that they're kind of teaching, that 7-on-7. You kind of catch it out in space, kind of back up and see what you got, and see if you can make a play right there. I think it hurt him there.
Down to the Seminole 47-yard line, makes it 3rd down and 3. 3 receivers to the right, 1 receiver to the left. There's a handoff. That is number 5 with it for the Wolves, and the ball is on the ground. And I think Seminole might have recovered, and they did. Xavier Scott with the fumble for Shawnee. Wow. Not what you need right there, as it was number 4, Donovan Garfield, who came up with the fumble.
Yeah, and right there, just trying to extend it, trying to get that first down. And again, just another offensive drive where, you get a few well-executed plays, and that one play just sort of unravels it all right there, the play being a fumble.
So it will be 1st and 10 for Seminole with the ball at their own 41-yard line. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. 6:53 to go. A quick pass out to Bowling. Bowling makes the grab, and Bowling looking to make some guys miss. He does. Bowling into Shawnee territory. And across the 45 down to the 44-yard line.
Yeah, and right here, we've seen Seminole just kind of go back to that play time and time again, and now you're looking at a Shawnee defense that's a little fatigued out there, and Seminole's just kind of finding the gaps in that fatigued defense.
1st and 10 for the Chieftains. Ball at the Shawnee 44. Under 6.5 to go. 3 receivers to the left side, 1 receiver to the right, pistol formation. And now Ladd will come over to the right of Garfield. Garfield gets the snap. Garfield will just keep it and follow Ladd, and Garfield lowering the shoulder. Garfield pushing the pile, and I think now you're starting to see guys who are tired, Landon, just unable to, once they make that initial hit, bring down the ball carrier.
Yeah, and this is just, like I say, this is just Seminole. Oh, we got a guy down.
Looks like it's a Shawnee player who's down. I believe that's the freshman, big number 73, Logan Skelton. He does pop up, but he'll have to come off the field. He did lose his helmet. Mario Joyner also a little shaken up. I saw him kind of flexing that and kind of rotating that right arm of his. So it will be 2nd down and 1. As the teams are huddling up, nobody called a timeout. It was an official's timeout because of the injury. So the coaches are able to talk with their players, and right now Coach Mike Blitch, the defensive coordinator for the Wolves, trying to get his guys focused, and I think they are focused. He's just trying to give them, a little bit of words of encouragement to come up and keep playing well like they have.
Yeah, like we talked about it earlier, they've been out there a lot tonight, especially in the second half. And, they just kind of look gassed out there. They're going to have to dig deep here, see if they can keep Seminole out of the end zone.
2nd and short upcoming for Seminole. 1 yard to go from the 35-yard line. Chieftains come out with Ladd in the backfield with Garfield, and now Ladd will go out to the right side, so they'll have 2 receivers and a tight end to the right side, 1 receiver to the left side. Now Ladd comes back and goes to the left of Garfield. There's the snap. Garfield's just going to keep it himself. Garfield goes straight up the middle. He's going to get the 1st down, but not much more than that as he's brought down by a slew of Wolves. DeMario Joyner on the tackle along with Ryan High.
Yeah, and again, right now, Seminole just kind of getting those short, quick plays, getting what they can, getting down. The Seminole team looks just a little bit more well-conditioned than the Shawnee defense.
And how much of that, Landon, goes back to the fact that they did play last week?
I mean, it could definitely be that. I mean, you're talking about you get 1 game under your belt before the other team does.
Here is Ladd. Ladd trying to find somewhere to go, runs into his own blocker, and he's able to maybe get a yard before he's brought down. A good tackle there by number 11, Toby Gray. Number 21, Dawson McDaniel, also in on the tackle.
Yeah, and right there, just a great job of kind of holding Ladd up in the backfield till everybody could get there. And like we talked about earlier, he's a guy who kind of gets that ball away from his body, gets up there in the middle. Maybe you can rip it away.
Gain of 1 on the play, makes it 2nd down and 9. 2 receivers to the left side, 1 receiver to the right, 2 backs in the backfield. And we're going to have a false start as that snap was just late getting there. Those receivers got going a little too quickly. And I think the center was just about a quarter second too late on that snap, Landon.
Yeah, it seemed like everybody moved except the center there. Sometimes that happens. You get out there, you start to try to snap that ball, and sometimes it just kind of gets stuck on the ground. I don't know what it is, Maybe a piece of gum out there. I'm not sure. But it happens.
I mean, you were a center. You would know. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. 2 backs in the backfield. There is Ladd with it. Ladd is brought down in the backfield. A good tackle, Toby Gray. Getting the tackle for loss right there on Ladd. A huge play right there. Dropping Ladd at the 42-yard line. And that was much needed, Landon, as it will back Seminole up to 3rd down and 20 now.
Well, I mean, Gray, High, Jason Hare, I mean, they've just been kind of moving around that field tonight, and right there gets a great stop. A huge loss there, so Seminole's going to have to really do a lot here to try to get it back. They can keep them in this kind of length from the sticks. Seminole might have to punt it away, give Shawnee a chance.
2 receivers each side. Here is Garfield looking to throw. Garfield setting up the screen, and Ladd cannot handle it. He dropped it, and Shawnee caught a break there. Ladd had a lot of room to run, but that'll be a drop by Ladd, and that will bring up 4th down, and I would imagine it will bring on the punt team.
And, yeah, Seminole's punt team comes out. So, Shawnee, 3 timeouts, 3.5 left in the game. You have a chance to go down here and put one up, put Seminole in a tough position. We'll see what they can do. See if they can finally get something going here in the second half, get some well-executed plays going.
Delmone Miller back to receive the punt for the Wolves, standing at his own 10-yard line. There's the punt, and Shawnee almost might have gotten a finger on it. No, they're going to throw a flag, and that will be a roughing the kicker penalty as, wow, Shawnee's arguing that they got a block, but that's going to go against the Wolves. And it will be a 1st down, I believe, if it's a personal foul.
Do they call personal foul? Running?
Oh, no, they called running into the kicker.
Let me tell you.
That'll make it 4th down and 15 instead of 4th down and 20.
I know that Seminole staff's probably pretty fired up about that call.
Yeah, but it'll just be running into the kicker. As DeMario Joyner was called for running into the kicker. I mean, honestly, though, I thought he got his hand on the ball, though, Landon, so I didn't think it would. I thought it would negate it, honestly.
Well, I mean, he jumped up there, and it looked like he tipped it. And not only did it look like it, but he came down kind of celebrating like he had tipped it.
Like he did tip it, yeah.
So, and then, of course, the flag comes out a little bit after he celebrates. But
And there's the punt again, and that is a good punt, and it will bounce. And Miller does a good job, just lets it roll into the end zone. And so Shawnee will take over with the touchback at the 20-yard line.
Well, you get a chance here.
Yeah.
Get a chance here. I mean, this offense really been struggling this half. Maybe they can find some of that magic that they found in the first half and the first and second quarter. Bring it here in the 4th and see if they can march down the field, put one in, put the pressure on Seminole, and give this defense a chance to get us out of this game with the dub.
1st and 10 for the Wolves. Ball at the 20. They do have a kicker, I think, that they trust in Rhett Neese. Now he left that last field goal short. Didn't get a good kick on it, but we've seen him hit from 37 in this stadium here in warm-ups. 2 receivers each side, 1 back in the backfield. Owens gets the snap. He's going to look to pass. There's a quick pass. That pass is caught by Ejon Thomas. Thomas makes a guy miss, gets the 1st down the sidelines. 1st down for the Wolves. Good play right there by Ejon Thomas and Jameer Owens.
Yeah, and right there, just like I say, it's just pitch and catch. We're just playing catch out here now. No need to rush anything. No need to feel like you got pressure. Just get out there, give the ball to your receivers.
Marks him out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Owens closing in on 100 yards passing. 3 receivers to the left side, 1 receiver to the right, 1 back in the backfield. Here's Owens. Owens looking to throw. Owens, quick pass. Thomas again with the catch. Spins away from one tackler. Makes another guy miss, and Ejon Thomas hit from behind. It'll depend on the spot, but I think it's another 1st down.
Yeah, and again right there, just a great job seeing his reads, seeing what he has on the field, making Seminole guess. A nice fake out to the screen, a nice fake screen out here, and then just able to get it across. Again, it's just playing catch with your teammates.
Gain of 12 brings up a 1st down. 2 receivers each side. Here's Owens looking to throw. Owens, quick pass, and that one just skipped to his intended target. That was intended for number 8, LaRon Thomas, as Owens just left that one short. That was just a bad pass.
Yeah, I think that one just kind of got away from him. Probably just slipped out of his hand there.
2:49 remaining. Clock stopped after the incomplete pass. Shawnee still with all 3 timeouts. 2 receivers again each side. 2nd down and 10. Here's Owens looking to throw. Owens, quick pass. That pass caught by Keno Citizen. Citizen gets to the outside, and we have a penalty flag. We're going to get a face mask penalty, probably just the 5-yard variety, but still, that'll add 5 yards to the end of this play. They'll spot the ball at midfield right now, and we'll see what the penalty is.
Give them the personal
foul.
foul.
They're calling a personal foul, face mask penalty. That was a little surprising. Usually in high school you got to kind of grab and twist, and I didn't see much of that, but hey, it'll benefit Shawnee, and it'll move them up 15 yards down the field at the Seminole 35-yard line, Landon.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's been a long time coming, but you look down here, a large crowd out here tonight. They're getting loud for their team.
Yeah.
This is some exciting stuff as we come down to the wire.
1st and 10 for the Wolves. Ball at the Seminole 35. Here's a handoff. Nope, it's Owens on the keeper. Owens makes a couple guys miss. Lunges forward, gets inside the 30, down to the 29-yard line.
And again, right now, Shawnee just on that one of those drives. Seminole had Shawnee's defense on their heels earlier in this half, able to move down the field and get it into the end zone. Right now, Shawnee having one of those drives.
2nd down and 4. 3 receivers to the right, 1 receiver to the left. 2:15 on the clock. Shawnee taking their time. Not in any hurry. There's the snap. Here's Owens looking to throw. Owens, he's going to float this one up. And that pass is caught. What a grab! My word! Delmon Miller with a huge grab inside the 5, down to the 3. Wow!
Yeah, a little bit of hand fighting down there. He's able to come down with it. An excellent play and a great pass there from Owens. Now Shawnee inside the 5. Let's put this ball in the end zone.
Also, let's run a little bit of clock. No need to hurry up too much, right?
Yeah, no. We'll run that jumbo out there.
They are going to run that jumbo package out there. Clock running, and Shawnee moved. That's what you can't have, Landon.
Yep.
Can't have those penalties.
Yeah, you got to stay even keel. You know, you come off one of those big plays, you're kind of amped up a little bit, and also you're down there in the goal line. You know you're going to have to get your shoulders down, kind of wedge yourself in there and see if you can open up some gaps, and you just get a little too overexcited there, and you jump the shot.
Still got great field position at the 8-yard line. 1st and goal from the 8. Keno Citizen late running on. Shawnee still plenty of time on the play clock. 2 receivers to the right. There's a handoff. Nope, it's Owens who keeps it. Owens slips a couple tackles, and Jameer just does a great job fighting just to only lose a yard or 2 right there. That was a scary play, but Owens fighting to just somehow get back to the 10.
Yeah, it looks like he's kind of favoring that hand a little bit.
1:22 to go here in this 4th quarter of play, tied at 14 apiece. Shawnee trying to break a 14-game losing streak, Landon. And right now they are in prime position to do it. They just got to manage the clock, manage emotions, and see if they can make something happen. 2nd down and goal, ball at the 10. Owens gets the snap, and we have a false start. False start on the Wolves. They had 1st and goal at the 3, Landon. Had a false start, a couple lost plays, or a lost play, and now you're looking at another false start, and all of a sudden 1st and goal from the 3, and you have 2nd and goal now from the 15. Not what you want right there. Here's Owens looking to throw. Owens goes across the middle. Miller makes another grab, but we have a flag.
This might be illegal man downfield. Came from the umpire.
Yeah, it is going to be an illegal man downfield. So Shawnee now, Landon, just somehow getting in such good position and just killing themselves with these penalties.
Well, they're going to call a timeout and get their guys under control. Like you said, you got to manage emotions.
We're going to take a timeout as well. 56 seconds remaining. Shawnee and Seminole tied, 14 apiece here on Classic Hits KGFF.
Score a great deal from Domino's Pizza in Shawnee with their mix and match deals for $6.99 each. Pizza, hot wings, sandwiches, pasta, specialty breads, desserts, and so much more. Kick off the season right and have it delivered right to your home. Don't punt on the coupon finder. drinks, or sauces. Domino's Pizza in Shawnee. Log on to dominospizza.com.
For many years, most people in the midst of arranging a funeral have had only two choices, cremation or burial. But there is a third option available, aquamation or flameless cremation. McEllier and Owens Funeral Group offers this environmentally friendly, less costly alternative to traditional cremation or burial. Mike McEllier or Robert Owens would be glad to discuss this water-based, sustainable method of final disposition with you. Call McEllier and Owens today at 405-695-5006 or stop by 5106 North Harrison in Shawnee.
Shawnee Wolves football is on Classic Hits, KGFF.
Welcome back inside the Sovereign Bank broadcast booth here at Crane Family Stadium on the campus of OBU. Chris Cox alongside Landon Green. And Landon, the Wolves are trying to snap a 14-game losing streak. They were in prime position, first and goal at the 3-yard line, but a couple penalties, 3 penalties I should say, and one loss of yardage on a play, and all of a sudden, first and goal from the 3 is now second and goal from the 20.
Yeah, like I say, just those mental mistakes. You got to manage your emotions. You got to manage the mental mistakes, control what you can control, and they just haven't right here in the goal line.
56 seconds remaining here in this one. Here is Owens looking to throw. Owens with time. Owens has that pass deflected in the air, and it's going to fall incomplete. Whoa, number 7 for Seminole. Reese Smith came flying in there, hit the arm of Jameer Owens, and thankfully for the Wolves, that ball falls incomplete.
I mean, that thing probably had 5 seconds of hang time on it. You see that? You saw.
that ball was in slow motion for me. I can only imagine.
Thomas falls down, and it's just white jerseys out there. It's like, please get to the ground. Great job.
2 receivers each side. Beavers, the lone back in the backfield to the right of Owens. Here is Owens looking to throw. Owens steps away from one guy, and now Owens wrapped up, nowhere to go. And Owens is driven down to the ground after the whistle, and now he has the defender on top of him. They got to throw a flag, Landon. The Shawnee coaches are incensed right now that there's no flag, as Jameer Owens, after the whistle, was driven to the ground and then pushed down on by the Seminole defender.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just don't know. I mean, it's been this way most of the game. It's been, one of those things where, one team seems to just kind of be getting the calls and the other just doesn't seem to be getting it.
And the Shawnee coach is just absolutely furious with the officials in that lack of call right there. And now, 4th down, Landon, you're too far to kick a field goal. You're too close to punt. You might as well just essentially throw a Hail Mary into the end zone, see what happens.
Yeah, call a timeout with 4 seconds left and throw one in the end zone. See if you can come down with it. Looks like Seminole's going to go ahead and call a timeout here with 14 left.
Yeah, we look like we are probably going to be going into overtime. We're going to keep it right here, though. Seminole calling a timeout, 14 seconds left. Yeah, again, Landon, it's just been some of these calls tonight that, again, this game is not necessarily won or lost by the officials. Shawnee's, made plays, and they put themselves in an opportunity to be tied with Seminole at 14 apiece, but they've also made plays to where they're looking at it and like, we should win this game. I mean, first and goal from the 3, and you have 3 penalties and a loss of yards on on one play, and you're looking at second and goal from the 20. Then you take that sack, but also you're looking, if you're the coaches, at some of these calls. The Keno Citizen fumble after he was clearly down, that non-call right there on Jameer Owens. A couple other things, some jawing that's gone on after a 2-point conversion. The Seminole receiver standing over the top of the Shawnee defender, clearly motioning toward him. I mean, there's just some things, too, that if you're these Shawnee coaches, you're going to go back and look at this, and I think they'll probably have some things that they want to send to the OSSAA.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just a matter of being consistent.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even, we don't want every call. We don't need every call. And, of course, you can execute better, on a lot of these plays that they've gone out there and done. But like I say, I mean, you got a guy standing over the top of your quarterback, and then he pushes up off of him after the play. He went down on top of him. He drove him into the ground after the whistle blew. And we're talking about a guy who got hurt last year.
Yeah.
In the same fashion.
Yeah.
I mean, in the same fashion where he gets hurt on a late hit, and they're going to roll Rhett Neese out there.
They are rolling Rhett Neese out there. Wow, I am surprised by this. It is a 30. Let's see, he's going to be having the ball put down at the 36, so a 46-yarder from Rhett Neese. And we have a whistle here. Another timeout taken by Seminole. So they'll be down to one timeout with 13 seconds remaining, which, Landon, probably means that the Wolves will, whatever happens with this field goal, Seminole probably will, if Nice doesn't make it, be content taking this thing into overtime.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Just one timeout left if he does miss this, and it'll make it real tough on you to get the ball down the field unless just something catastrophic happens with the Shawnee defense. So, let's go Rhett though. Let's knock this. Let's knock this through. He struggled on that first one. I think he just misplaced it. We know that he has the leg. We've seen him hit some crazy shots in practice and preseason, and we even saw him hit a 37-yarder earlier in the pregame. So we'll see if he can put something together. Get some leg behind it. Get that wind. He got the wind at his back. Looks like it's blowing a little bit harder.
Yeah, you got to get a good snap, though, and you got to get a good hold. The holder is the punter, Lance Williams, and I can't see who is doing the long snapping. I think that's number 11, Toby Gray, doing the long snapping. So you got to get a good snap. Obviously got to get a good hold, and then Nice has to just get a good leg through this. There's a good snap and a good hold. Nice with a good kick. That's a good-looking kick, and that kick is no good. Oh, he just could not get it. Did not have the leg, or he had the leg, just did not have the accuracy, as I think he just hooked it.
Well, and not only that, but the referees looking at each other, you're thinking, maybe this did make it in. But unfortunately, no.
That was a much better kick. I mean, Nice had the leg. He just couldn't get it there. Yep. And that was much better than his other attempt on the other end from 40.
Yep. Well, a great try there from Rhett Nice. Just a little bit straighter, and we're talking about being up by 3.
And with 3 seconds to go, Seminole, I would think is probably just going to take a knee and run this into overtime, but you never know. They might try something crazy here on one final play. There's a player from Seminole who's walking off the field slowly, number 7, Reese Smith. He was shaken up on that field goal attempt.
And they just put a few more seconds on the clock.
Put 8 on the clock.
I think the referee actually signaled 7. They put 8 on there, and he just said, whatever, and walked off. So there you go. That's pretty much been tonight in a nutshell. Whatever.
Yeah, and Seminole is in their kneel-down formation. So the Chieftains look content to take this one into overtime at 14 apiece. As Garfield takes the snap, takes the knee at the 14, and he will go ahead and take that into overtime as we are tied at 14 apiece at the end of regulation. When we come back, we'll have overtime. This is Shawnee football here on Classic Hits, KGFF.
Hey, Shawnee fans, Finley & Cook CPAs is proud to be part of the Wolves Pack for over 75 years. From the heart of Shawnee, Oklahoma, we've seen legends rise and unforgettable moments shine on the field and court. As our Wolves tackle, dribble, and score, remember, just like Shawnee's spirit, our commitment to our community and Wolves never wavers. Go, Wolves! Proudly supported by Finley & Cook, serving Shawnee's numbers, nurturing Shawnee's dreams.
Hey there, local sports fans and community champions. Are you ready to show your true colors and support the Shawnee Wolves? Look no further than Sovereign Bank. When you bank with Sovereign, you're not just a customer, you're a teammate in the game of community success. Sovereign is not just cheering from the sidelines, they're in the huddle, backing every play, every victory. Your deposits with Sovereign directly fund dreams for Shawnee students. Switch to Sovereign Bank today and let's score big together. Sovereign Bank, proud sponsor of Shawnee Athletics. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Shawnee Wolves football is on Classic Hits, KGFF.
Well, Landon, at the end of regulation, the Shawnee Wolves look to get an overtime victory now over the Seminole Chieftains. We are tied at 14 apiece here inside Crane Family Stadium on the campus of OBU. I'm Chris Cox, joined by Landon Green. Landon, overtime here in week 1 as the Wolves look to get this win.
Yeah, and really just kind of a tale of two halves for the Wolves. Played really excellent in that first half, able to put a couple of scores together, and just unable to put anything on the board in that in that second half, a chance to go ahead with the kick from Rhett Neese, a definite improvement from his kick earlier in the game. Unfortunately, was not accurate, so it goes just left of the goalpost. So we'll see what they do here, what they come away with. We'll see who gets to get the ball first and who gets defense first here in overtime.
Interesting here for the coin toss to start overtime. They actually have the two head coaches out there, Jason Madonna and Mike Snyder, out there for this coin flip. Usually you get the captains out there, a little surprised, but hey, they're going to have the coaches out there to do the coin flip. As the official, I think, is also walking through all of the overtime rules with them. It does look like that Coach Madonna won the toss. And yeah, he looks pretty pumped up right now. Coach Madonna walking back over to the Shawnee sideline, trying to get these fans up and trying to get them pumped up. He's an energetic guy, Landon.
Yeah.
He's, I want to say 38, 39 years old, has a ton of energy, and is just ready to help these guys try to get the victory here in this one. So the defense will come out first. And it will be, it's very similar, actually it's exactly the same, I think, as the college rules for overtime. Both teams will start at they'll start closer, though, than college. They'll start at the 10-yard line. Landon, I don't remember the last time we had an overtime game.
It's been a long time. Yeah, I mean, it's been a while. I think, for me, the last overtime game I played here was Harding University. They came here and we went to overtime against them in the first game of Division II football here at OBU. So I couldn't tell you the last time Shawnee's had an overtime game.
Yeah, but they are trying to see what they can do right here. 1st and 10 for Seminole. Ball at the 10-yard line. 1st and goal, I should say, for Seminole with the ball at the 10. Two receivers to the right, one to the left. Here's Garfield with it. Garfield working around a block, and he's able to get down to about the 6-yard line before he's stopped.
Yeah, and right there, just got to work your way down the line, try to find them, make sure you hold that edge, try to keep them contained.
Didn't see who made that tackle. I think it was number 21, Dawson McDaniel, who was there. 2nd down and goal from the 6-yard line. Two receivers to the left, one receiver to the right, two backs in the backfield. Garfield, he'll keep it, and Garfield will cut it back. Garfield will slither in, Garfield will dive forward, and Garfield will get into the end zone for the Seminole touchdown. So Seminole with the touchdown, and for the first time tonight, they take the lead 20-14. And Shawnee has an injured player who is going to have to be helped off the field. That is number, I'm trying to see who that is. Can't tell, it's number 20-something. I just can't quite tell who it is, but Seminole will now have a 2-point conversion opportunity as they will try to go up by 8. We've seen that they're not going to kick, so I would imagine Seminole will go for 2 here, Landon, and this will be a huge play, obviously, for Shawnee, trying to keep them down by just 6 and make it a touchdown and an extra point to win the game.
Yeah, and this is where if you're Shawnee, you're really trying to get the stop here. Because like I say, you put yourself in a great position if you can put the ball in the end zone to come away with the dub. Looks like that. Is that Lance Williams?
That might be Lance Williams. And if that is Lance Williams, he is Shawnee's punter as well. That's definitely not good to see him limping like that. So 2-point conversion upcoming now for Seminole as they lead 20-14. Ball placed at the 3-yard line. Chieftains come out with 2 receivers to the right, 1 receiver to the left, 2 backs in the backfield. Garfield gets the snap. Garfield will take it, and he'll look to throw. Garfield's pass is caught, and it will be a 2-point conversion as number 10 came down with it for Seminole. That is Jordan Lowe, and now the Wolves, with all the pressure on them, Landon, they have to not only score a touchdown, but they have to convert on a 2-point conversion as well.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. This is one of those things. You know, you gotta execute now. I mean, you gotta put this ball in. You're 10 yards out. You're right there. Can't have any mental mistakes now.
Yeah, and again, this is just part of learning how to win games. I mean, Shawnee, they weren't really in many games last year. They were in this game with Seminole. They ended up getting shut out, but it was 16-0. They played closely with, I believe it was Eisenhower last year, and a couple other games that they were kind of in there for about 3 quarters. But this is part of it. You play a really close game. You have opportunities to win. You just got to learn how to win.
Yeah, I mean, you're 3 yards away from punching it in the end zone, going up by a touchdown, and then you end up
under
in
a minute to go.
Yeah, you end up in overtime. So, I mean, yeah, this is one of those things, like I say, it's growing pains for a team that, even though it has experience, they are still young.
2 receivers to the left side, 1 receiver to the right side. 2 backs in the backfield. 1st and 10 for the Wolves. Ball at the 10. Here is Owens looking to throw. Owens a quick pass. That pass is up in the air, and that is incomplete. Knocked away by number 17 for Seminole. That was Landon Bowling. It was a good idea on that pass, trying to get it to Delmon Miller, who has played a really good game.
Yeah, he's a guy that's, you know, he's shown tonight that he's able to come up with those high point balls as a Seminole Chieftains down.
A little surprised, and I mean, 1st down, sure, get a little bit aggressive, but you know, you have Dietrich Beavers. He's averaging over 13 yards a carry, 10 carries, 131 yards. I mean, I think you might try to run him as much as you can.
Yeah, I mean, he's shown that he's able to kind of cut through this defense, and yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm surprised they don't give him the ball.
I wonder if your only thought about that is because he is on the smaller side. Maybe you wonder if there's just not enough room for him to work right now.
Maybe. I mean, 10 yards is a lot of space. I mean, that's a lot of room to maneuver, as we've seen. Like I say, he can get a lot done in a phone booth. So, you know, maybe you kind of shake it up. But hey, right there, I think you take your shot. You know, see if you can kind of catch Seminole off guard. It looked like they almost had it. I think that ball has a little bit more toward the corner. Maybe you know, they're able to come down with it.
Wolves coming out after that injury timeout as number 7, again, Reese Smith, limping off the field. I think he's cramping. I think that's been the issue with him these past couple possessions. 2 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the right, 1 back in the backfield. It is Beavers back there with Owens. Owens gets the snap, and Owens will look to keep it. Owens will try to turn the corner. Owens gets inside the 10. Owens is planted down at the 6-yard line, 7-yard line, as he was stopped by number 21, Walter Factor. Third down and goal from the 6 for the Wolves. They have 2 possessions, Landon. If they can get it all here, great, but they'll have one other opportunity after this for sure.
Yeah, don't have to force anything. If it's there, it's there. If it's not, get it to where it needs to get so you can get closer.
3 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the right, and a flag. False start on the Wolves, and that'll back them up 5 yards. Man.
Yeah, I think LaRon Thomas a little eager to get started there. Fortunately, gets the false start call.
3 receivers to the left side, 1 receiver to the right. Here is Owens. Owens will step up. Owens will scramble. Owens trying to make something happen. Owens gets it off to Keno Citizen. Citizen dives into the end zone. And they are saying he is out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Seminole was saying that he fumbled out of the back of the end zone. The official saying no, he's down at the 1. Woo! Hold on to that ball, Keno.
Yeah, and right there, yeah, that ball did come out there. Luckily, in those bang-bang plays, most officials won't give it to the other team. But they're going to run that jumbo package out there. It's going to be mano a mano.
Can't jump offside here. There's the snap. There goes Owens. Owens into the end zone. Touchdown, Shawnee. Jameer Owens, another touchdown tonight. And now you have the 2-point conversion. You have to convert the 2.
Got a flag, though, at the end.
There is a flag. We'll see what this flag is for. As the officials get together to talk about it. The officials coming over to talk to head coach Jason Madonna. Something must have happened after the play. I'm not sure. And just judging by the reaction from the assistant coaches for Shawnee, it's going to go against the Wolves. We'll see if the touchdown stands. We'll see. The touchdown does stand after the play. Unsportsmanlike conduct on the Wolves. Wow. So that's going to make the 2-point conversion now, instead of being at the 3, from the 18-yard line. I mean, it's just, these are just the timeouts and the mental mistakes that you talk about, Landon. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, and you know, it's one of those where you can sit there and you can point fingers and say somebody did this, somebody did that, but you have to have the wherewithal to understand the situation and know that you can't do anything. These referees are watching you, and they're going to throw the flag there.
And I don't know what happened. I didn't see anything too egregious after the play, but it's one of those things where, again, if you're the Shawnee coaches, you're thinking, so Seminole can celebrate after they score, but we can't.
Yeah, it's nothing that hasn't been happening all game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nothing that hasn't been happening all game. And like I say, I mean, it's just one of those things where, hey, you know, sometimes teams will get away with it, and you just got to know that, hey, in certain situations, I gotta be better. And right there, whatever happened, obviously the referee thought it was enough to throw a flag on. And, yeah, I mean, that's the way it goes. You got to be smarter than that, especially when the referees seem to kind of have a target on your back.
And now they have one play to tie it up. This is a 2-point conversion, Landon. This is to tie up the game. 2-point conversion from the 18-yard line. I mean, you just got to find something here. Here comes the blitz. Owens will fire this one into the end zone. The ball's up in the air. It is caught. The 2-point conversion is good. My word. Holy cow. Whoa, LeRon Thomas somehow comes down with it. Oh, my word. Wow. Oh, man. What a play. LeRon Thomas. Jameer Owens throwing it up there, and then the big boy, LeRon Thomas, 6'3", going up there like a basketball player grabbing a rebound and just coming down with it.
I mean, hey, sometimes you just got to throw up a prayer and see what happens, and right there, able to come down with it, just unbelievable.
Wow.
Unbelievable play there for the Wolves. And now you get to go back out there on offense and see if you can put something together here. Wow. Unbelievable.
Oh, my word.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely unbelievable.
I mean, 2 guys there, a guy in the face of Jameer Owens as he lets it go, a chance for Seminole to knock the ball down, and just somehow LeRon Thomas comes away with it in the end zone. Just an unbelievable play there for the Wolves, and we get double OT. Get another overtime period.
So double overtime. Now all of these overtime periods are untimed, and you get the ball at the 10. I will say, and they actually switch teams who get it first, so Shawnee actually gets it first, Landon.
Yeah.
So Shawnee will have the ball with it at the 10-yard line first. Wolves get the snap. Here's Owens looking to throw. Owens will fire this one up in the air, trying to go to Miller, and Miller actually had to play defense right there, batted that one away. A good play by Miller, as number 12 for Seminole, Armin Burris, almost came down with the interception.
Yeah, I think that's one right there. You know, you just kind of probably got to tuck that one.
Yeah.
Probably just got to tuck that one away, see if you can get something with your legs. Miller pretty covered up there on that play.
Also, the wind's kind of has picked up here since we've started overtime, and so that ball kind of hung up there a little bit more. 2 receivers stacked to each side. One back in the backfield for Shawnee. Here's Owens. Owens will have a quick pass out to Keno Citizen, and Citizen immediately just planted by number 17, Landon Bowling. And we'll have a third down upcoming now.
Yeah, and right there, just not enough guys in front blocking. Too many guys in white around the ball as soon as he caught it. Just nowhere to go for Citizen.
A loss of 1 on the play. So 3rd and goal from the 11. 3 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the right. Owens gets the snap. Owens will hand off to Dietrich Beavers. Beavers spinning. Beavers pushing his way forward, and he gets down to the 4. Landon, do you run the field goal team out there? I mean, I think you... Nope, they're going to keep the offense out there. They're going to be aggressive, keep the offense out there. I like the aggressiveness here, Landon.
Oh, absolutely. I figured with the run, they'd probably try to go with that jumbo maybe here, but...
Teach these kids how to win a game.
Absolutely.
And that's what they're doing right here. Timeout taken by Shawnee. We'll take it as well real quick, and when we come back, Shawnee will have 4th and goal. This is Wolves football here on KGFF.
Aquamation, Oklahoma's first and only advanced green technology in water-based pet cremation. It's the mission of Pause to Remember, to provide caring, loving, and compassionate services to our families experiencing the loss of a beloved pet. When it's time to cross that rainbow bridge, Pause to Remember can provide the services you need. Call them at 405-695-006 or stop in at 5106 North Harrison. Pause to Remember, a service of McElliey and Owens of Shawnee.
Harrison Discount Pharmacy opened its doors in 1986. David Nicholas and his friendly staff have been serving Shawnee residents with quick refills plus handling transfer prescriptions with ease. Medicare billing can be complicated. Don't stress. The Harrison Discount Pharmacy staff are experienced in all aspects of billing. Enjoy competitive pricing, flu shots, and local delivery. Call on your prescription 24/7 to 405-273-9906.
Shawnee Wolves football is on Classic Hits, KGFF.
Field goal attempt for the Wolves, and that field goal attempt here in overtime is good. And so with that, on 4th down, the Wolves did decide to kick, Landon, and they kicked the field goal. It is good as Rhett Neese knocks it through, and the Wolves now take a 25-22 lead. And they have 4 downs now to keep Seminole out of the end zone. That's what they have to do. They have to keep them out of the end zone. Seminole has not shown that they're going to kick the ball. So the Wolves have to just, frankly, keep them out of the end zone.
Well, this defense, they're going to have to go out there. They're going to have to see if they can get the stop that they need to get. They're going to have to be aggressive. They're going to have to follow their assignment. They're going to have to get the stop.
Learning how to win games. That is what the Shawnee team has been tasked with. They are trying to break a 14-game losing streak. They went 0-10 last year. They have not won since they beat East Central back in Week 7 of the 2021 season. It's a long time.
Been a long time.
And right now they are 10 yards and 4 downs away from doing that. 1st and goal for Seminole. Shawnee up 25-22. Donovan Garfield back there. Gets the snap. Garfield will run the option. They'll run an in around to Bowling, and Bowling wide open, and Bowling will walk into the end zone, and Seminole will win the game. Wow. Wow. They've gone with the power all game long, and there they get the trick on the end around, and Bowling wide open pathway to the end zone. No words, Landon.
Yeah, that's tough.
That is.
That's tough. That's a tough loss right there. That's a tough loss to swallow. That's one that I think will haunt this season. I think you'll be going back to this one quite a bit when you look back on it.
Final score in this game, Seminole 28, Shawnee 25. Wolves fall to 0-1 on the year. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, Landon and I will wrap this thing up, have some post-game stats for you, and tell you what's on the docket next for the Wolves as they fall to Seminole 28-25. This is Shawnee football here on Classic Hits, KGFF.
The Clinic Pharmacy has a rich history and tradition of working hard to improve the quality of your life since 1967. You can have your prescriptions filled and shop for baby apparel, plush toys, warmies, blankets, seasonal decor, plus gift wrapping is free. Friend them on Facebook to see information important to your everyday health and the best times to get your immunizations and boosters. We're not sure what happened with the horse. The Clinic Pharmacy, working hard to improve the quality of your life.
You may have a passion for helping people, love the fun atmosphere of a casino, or maybe you're a numbers person. Citizen Potawatomi Nation has job openings to fit your interests and skill sets, offering competitive pay, excellent benefits, and endless opportunities for growth. Join the Citizen Potawatomi Nation team. You'll enjoy gaining skills and a supportive work environment. Apply today at potawatomi.org/job. That's potawatomi.org/job.
Shawnee Wolves football is on Classic Hits, KGFF.
Welcome back inside Crane Family Stadium here on the campus of OBU. Landon, as you watch these teams walk off the field, you just see, Seminole obviously incredibly excited to get the thrilling overtime win, 28-25 over the Wolves. Several Shawnee players still struggling just to even walk over to the team huddle, just in dismay how this game ended. I mean, it is the definition of a heartbreaking loss, Landon, and for a team that went 0-10 last year and is now going all the way back to 2021, lost 15 straight, a lot of these guys have to be thinking, what do we need to do to win?
Yeah, I mean, you put yourself in a great position in the first half, and it just seemed like that second half just really set the tone for the rest of the game. Yeah. Seminole came out fired up. They just kept on going. They were able to come out in overtime and score in a couple of plays. Then they finished it with the 2-point conversion. They just kind of dictated the rest of the game from kickoff of the second half. I mean, it just seemed like everything they did, Shawnee just tried to do better and just couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the Wolves falling to Seminole, by the way, 28-25. Wolves now 0-1 on the season. Seminole improves to 1-1 on the year. And Landon, I mean, it was a good game. There's a lot of positives that we can take away from this. There was good running from Dietrich Beavers. Jameer Owens made some nice plays. You have receivers that can make some good catches that we saw can make some athletic, acrobatic, contested catches. So there's a lot of good that's there. But, again, Landon, mental mistakes, which is something that we've talked about, it seems like every year now for the Wolves since we've been calling these games, mental mistakes just beat the Wolves tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking turnovers, you're talking mental mistakes, you're talking chances for you to put the ball in the end zone, and you just can't seem to get it done. You get inside the 3 with under a minute left, and trying to get things done, and you just keep going backward.
Yeah,
and you force yourself into a position where your field goal kicker who's really good and has knocked down many kicks before. He has to go from possibly kicking a 15-yard punt or a 15-yard kick, and now he has to go kick a 40-yarder. And you put that in position, and you take that from from the 3-yard line to where they were now. I mean, it's tough. I mean, that's like I say, that's one of those losses where you're going to look back on it this season, and you put yourself in so many different positions to come away with the win tonight, and it just didn't happen. It just didn't happen. You couldn't figure out a way to finish out tonight, and Seminole did.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at some of those post-game numbers for you. First off, for the Seminole Chieftains, they finished with 131 yards on the ground as a team, 105 yards through the air, 12 penalties for Seminole, 112 penalty yards. They did have 3 turnovers tonight, had an interception, and also lost a couple of fumbles. Individually for the Chieftains, the leading rusher was their quarterback, Donovan Garfield, 21 carries, 82 yards, 2 touchdowns. J. Ladd, 10 carries, 24 yards. Landon Bowling, 1 carry, 10 yards, and that was the one that ended the game. on that end around to in double overtime to win the game for the Chieftains. Mason Bennett, a carry for 7. Jordan Lowe, a carry for 5. Donovan Garfield, 14 of 23 passing, 111 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Leading receiver Landon Bowling, 7 catches, 60 yards. Austin Smith had 2 catches for 12 yards, also had a touchdown. Defensively for Seminole, it looked like the leading tackler by my count. It'll be interesting to go through and watch the film and see who really had all those tackles for Seminole because so many guys got there. But Martez Johnson, 4 tackles for Seminole. They had 3 sacks on the night as well. Jordan Lowe with a sack, Tony Oakley with a sack, and David Hernandez with a sack. Looking at the Shawnee numbers now, 162 yards on the ground for the Wolves, 148 yards through the air. Relatively good balance there for Shawnee. They turned the ball over twice, 2 fumbles. Lost both of them. And then Landon, we talked in the first half, they had 5 penalties for 50 yards in the first half. We said, it's not terrible, it's not great, but it's not terrible. Well, second half in terms of penalties, it was on the terrible side. It wasn't good. 14 penalties overall, so that's 9 in the second half, 120 penalty yards for the Wolves. So just not good on that front for Shawnee, and a lot of those penalties, again, jumping up there in the second half. And a lot of those penalties, Landon, they're not those effort penalties. They're not. You had a couple holds. I think you had a couple face masks in there, but penalties you had were the false starts. It was it were the celebration penalties. It was you didn't have a delay of game, but you know what I'm talking about. It's the ones that happen before the snap or after the play is over, the ones that just really kill you.
Yeah.
Individually for the Wolves, Dietrich Beavers, big bright spot tonight for Dietrich Beavers. He had a really, really good game in this losing effort. 11 carries, 138 yards, a touchdown. Jameer Owens, he ran the ball well. You're going to look at his numbers and say, wait, what? He had 16 carries for -4 yards, but he was sacked a few times, had a couple that were just for losses, but so he ends up with -4 yards, but he had 2 touchdowns. That's a good job running the ball for Jameer Owens. Keno Citizen, 5 carries, 26 yards. Passing-wise, Jameer Owens, he got off to a bit of a slow start, but kind of picked it up there at the end of the game. He ends up just under 50%, 15 of 32, 166 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. If, he gets that up there to where maybe next week if he's attempting 32 passes again, he's at 17, 18 of 32 for closer to 200 yards. You're looking at that and saying, okay, that's a really good night for him. But he showed that he can do some good things, and he showed that he also has some really good receivers. Delmoon Miller, 4 catches, 64 yards, including that. And then LaRon Thomas, 2 catches, 25 yards, including that big 2-point conversion there in the first overtime to keep the game going. Ejon Thomas, 4 catches, 45 yards. Keno Citizen, 4 catches for 14 yards. Defensively for the Wolves, Ryan High all over the place, 14 tackles for High to lead. The Wolves also had a forced fumble. But Landon, Shawnee falls tonight by 3 to Seminole, 28-25. That losing streak is now extended out to 15, and it doesn't get any easier. They hit the road for the next 3 games, as they're going to be away from Shawnee for a while, as they go to Ardmore next week, and then they'll go to Blanchard and to Bishop McGuinness before they come back here and play Carl Albert. So this next stretch of games, it's going to be tough. Now, yes, Ardmore's lost some guys, but Ardmore's always going to be tough. Blanchard's a really, really good, I think they're 4A, a really, really good 4A team. And so it's not going to be an easy couple of weeks for the Wolves.
Yeah. This is, you got to win the games that you're supposed to win, and unfortunately you don't come away with it tonight. But you said it. You're talking about a few guys. Again, I think these guys are one step away from being a winning team.
Yeah.
They just got to shore up those mistakes, the things that you can control. Don't have those silly mistakes. Don't have those silly penalties. Don't get stuff, happening after the play. Don't, get the false start penalties. Don't, you got to shore that up. You got to watch out for, all the little things that you can fix. You're going to go back and watch film, and you're just going to be sick looking at some of that stuff. But then you're going to look at it. You can look at it from a positive angle. Jameer Owens, once he learns how to trust his team and trust himself, you're talking about a kid who's got an arm. He's got the legs to be mobile back there, move around. And there were a few throws out there where, you see, hey, he's got it. But there were some times where it just seemed like he was kind of rushing it a little bit and felt like he needed to get out of the pocket quickly, and there wasn't anybody there. If he just gives it a little bit of time and, again, just trusts his offensive line, trusts his receivers, and ultimately trusts himself, I think we could have a really good quarterback out of Jameer Owens, but it's going to take a little bit of time. Get another week under your belt, get another week of practice, see if he comes out against Ardmore, see how he does. And we're going to look back in this defense. You're looking at some of the stuff that you did positively. See if you can, get a couple of guys up and ready to go, maybe in reserve for your guys, because like I say, there toward the end, you started to see them get a little tired. Maybe get another group of guys that can kind of come in and help those guys out. And see if that can help you there. I mean, you're talking the difference between winning and losing games. But bright spot tonight, Dietrich Beavers, like you said, great job by Dietrich coming out playing ball, and something to look forward to over the next few weeks on offense is seeing if he can continue playing the way he played tonight. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see going in next week. Like you said, Ardmore's a tough team. We'll see how they are this year. They've lost a couple of games. They're hungry themselves. Shawnee felt like they could have come away with the win tonight. Maybe next week they go out hungry and come away with the win in a tough environment there in Ardmore.
Well, we'll see what they can do next week as the Wolves take on the Ardmore Tigers next week. That game will kick off at 7 o'clock. Our coverage here on KGFF will begin with the Coach's Corner at about 6:05, so make sure to stay tuned to KGFF. We will keep you up to date with everything going on with that game. Again, the Wolves, though, falling tonight 28-25 to the Seminole Chieftains. Wolves now 0-1 on the year. We'll talk to you next week in Ardmore. For everybody back in the studio, and Gage running the camera for us here inside Crane Family Stadium, my broadcast partner Landon Green, I'm Chris Cox. Thanks for listening. I'll talk to you next week.